The mayor, council, will you introduce yourselves, please?
Kristen Weaver, Mayor Pro Tem.
Silky Pope Council.
Danielle McKinney, council member. Jenny Pompey, council member.
Amy Niesel, Council Member.
Rodney Roberts, City Council.
Okay, any information items for the end of the meeting? Okay. Anybody else?
I have one.
Okay, thank you. So we hold council work sessions on Mondays and Wednesdays several times a month to exchange information with community stakeholders or to gather information from staff, advisory boards, or residents. No formal votes or actions are taken in our work sessions. The work sessions and meetings are open to the public except for executive sessions as authorized by state law, so that residents and others can observe council's deliberations. We do strive to provide reasonable opportunities for the public to voice opinions on matters being considered, so we'll pause periodically for public comment. During these times, if you're in the room and you wish to make a comment, if you raise your hand after you're recognized, you can go over to the podium and you'll need to state your name. And if you're comfortable, give us the address and we need that for the minutes. If you're on Zoom, you can submit a question using the Q&A tab at the bottom of the screen, or you can raise your virtual hand. And once again, after being recognized, you need to provide a name and your address. We don't take anonymous comments on Zoom. And finally, if you're watching on cable TV or Facebook or YouTube, just send us an email. The email address is questions@greenbeltmd.gov. So finally, those public comments, please limit them to about 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Speak on one topic related to the question under consideration, and we ask that you avoid disparaging or questioning the motives of others. And in general, let's all be civil in your remarks. So tonight is our quarterly update with the city manager. This is something that we do every quarter. But we're doing it a little different. We decided to actually take a deeper dive during these sessions. And tonight we're actually getting a deeper dive with the Recreation Department, the largest department in terms of employees in the city of Greenbelt. Is that correct, City Manager Summerall?
I think on the count of people, yes, because of so many activities that are run.
And it looks like they're all in the room right now.
Well, no, these are the not everyone's in the room. I don't think we will have enough room in this building to fit
We
everyone.
wouldn't. We definitely wouldn't. But it's a good showing.
Yes.
So that's the plan for tonight's work session. We do have an executive session afterwards. So let's dive right in.
Excellent. Good evening, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, Council. Good evening, Recreations Department and citizens. I'm really excited today. As you can see, we have such a full room, and just about everyone represents a different program in recreation. But I'm told to stay on time, so I'm going to jump right in, and I will probably leave a lot of my PowerPoint out of the presentation, but you feel free to ask questions related to that. I'll start off with our City Connector. And I'm pulling this up because Councilmember Pope asked me for the 150-word executive summary. So I would say that our letter to our citizens will be my 150 words version of it. We've been working hard at the election cycle. We're ready to have an election in 2 weeks, and there's a lot of effort planning that goes into that. We're also recognizing Jim Geezy in our front cover. As you know, Jim Geezy passed in August of this year. We're remembering here in the City Connector, and in the spring we will plan a tree planting ceremony in his honor. So, all right, so I'll read this version first, and then I'll go into my PowerPoint because it highlights many of our accomplishments. I'll start off with the project that probably cost me some sleepless nights. That's our pool. Our pool is open. We open on time. The project was on schedule and on budget. So that's in large part due to Greg, Brian Kim, Stephen, and the entire leadership team, includes Andrew, and that worked hard to make sure that happened, not just from a physical construction perspective, but also programming. I think you may recall that one of our most full meetings in a work session here with council was related to the pool programming. So it's a very sensitive project. We're monitoring federal policy related to BARC and NASA. As you know, council has approved the meets and bounds survey for the BARC property, so that council may explore annexation activities. So that those projects are underway. The other projects include the completion of 3 concepts and pricing for the redevelopment of the Armory. So we look forward to getting feedback from residents and council on how we move this project forward. We've adopted a 10-year EV plan, and as you see this year, we executed on some of those purchases. We purchased our first police EV vehicle. We purchased our first EV trash truck. So those are our major investments we're doing in our EV fleet. We also have an economic development strategic plan that's ready to come to council for approval. We've hosted those work sessions with council or in the first quarter. We've adapted a Buddy Attic master plan and have executed many of those activities that are in there. One of the pictures you will see later from Recreations team is the pavilions at Buddy Attic. Our website is now live, offering greater accessibility, navigation, and user experience. We continue working in phase 2, which is the troubleshooting phase. We know that there's some challenges still with the website, but we're working through those challenges. The agenda management system has all the previous council files updated, so you can find minutes and agendas going back to 2009 in there, and video. Our voter engagement and constituent engagement has been a key component of our programming this summer. That included Hispanic Heritage Month, legal clinics, particularly around the Know Your Rights session. We hosted several activities around Know Your Rights. We did Know Your Rights training for municipal leaders, train the trainer program, and then direct services to constituents. Continue to do the roundtable discussions on economic development, and we have expanded those beyond the first group that we started, which was hospitality. We're now doing the medical sector. We've had a very successful Learn to Earn program. We were able to fund paid internships for those participants, and they work throughout various departments in the organization. All right, that's my 150 words. Now I transition to my PowerPoint. Let me know when you're ready. Next slide, please. All right, things that I have not mentioned are the EV infrastructure. We've been nagging DPI and PEPCO to get approvals for the community charging stations at the library and community center. We have received permits for those. We're now in Parks and Planning. We need a zoning permit, and then we'll be ready to install those stations. The EV charging stations here, the municipal building, the infrastructure is in. We're waiting for the EV charging stations to arrive. We've gotten all the state's approval for those, so we hope to have those running in the next 3 to 4 weeks. And until we'll come back with council for approval on the rate structure for those stations. I'm thinking that if we install those before we get that approval, we'll probably open them up as free and open charging stations just to kind of get people using them until council approves a rate. The PEPCO streetlights, we've been actively working on that project, but it's unfortunately year-end is still ongoing. No tariff applications have been filed, and we're at the mercy of SHA and PEPCO on that project. But we continue to coordinate the acquisition and conversion of streetlights, over 1,000 streetlights in the city. The city code, the recodification of the city code, the legal review is complete, the draft is complete. Council will be, we'll have a work session on the zoning code update. Once we have that, I think we'll be in a better position to move that forward and get council's approval. Next slide, please. Our website not only has improved the usability of the function, but we're also getting a lot of hits. In the reporting period, the website had over 56,000 page views. We think that's due to the usability and not just in desktop format, but also mobile devices. We had strong engagement with constituents. We had, as I mentioned, the Salsa and Salsa, Labor Day activities. We are currently executing a citywide voter engagement strategy. This is something we discussed with council last year that we wanted to improve our current 17% voter participation rate. So any increase will be welcome. We're shooting for 20% of our voter base. In the coming week, we will be sending out text messaging. We acquired a new platform to send out text messages to voters that have a verified mobile phone number in the database. Other activities included the National Night Out, the CCI Block Party. CARES launched a teen anger improvement group. We continue various legal clinic operations. CARES also ran AI literacy classes. Is something that council is interested in seeing at Spring Hill Lake Recreation. So we had a second round of those classes, and we had numerous back-to-school health and wellness fairs. We recently achieved approval for the Greenbelt Cinema bond bill renovations. So we're working through all those items to get that work completed early next year. We finalized the Compost Crew resident composting program. So that program continues. Thank you for your support in funding that for fiscal year 2026. While the pay as you go or save as you throw, as it's been named, that program isn't reported here because we're working on the administrative details. The Reparations Commission has made a significant progress on their report and recommendations. We assisted in securing an Indigenous persons consultant, and that would advance their work that will be presented to council. We completed the AED installations. Those are the aromatic external defibrillator machines. We installed those across the city buildings and now including Green Ridge House. The fire department is issuing an award to our police department for the incident where our officers deployed an AED machine on the field, and that helped save someone's life. So our police department will be recognized for that effort. I thank council for your support and allowing us to buy those AEDs and getting them in police cruisers. Looking ahead, fire and EMS services continues to be a priority. I've met with Deputy Chief of the Fire Department today to talk about the incoming class. As you know, the department executed several strategies to recruit and train personnel. We are starting to see staffing return to stations. I'll provide an update later to council on that, but we continue to work closely with the fire department to improve outcomes for our residents. We continue to execute the projects, the Shram Hills, which all of you were at that ribbon cutting. That's an example of those ARPA projects. And in the coming year, we hope to complete the city code, the city charter review, have full staffing back for EMS services, complete EV infrastructure, and acquire our streetlights. I can go into all the pictures and accomplishments, but I think that's a good stopping point for questions. Any questions from council?
Council, I did want to, on the Pepco streetlight, the tariffs and working with the Public Utility Board, I had mentioned that we should make that a legislative priority and actually, get our liaison maybe working on that, or setting up a strategy how we can try and move that forward.
City managers met on Tuesday to plan for the District 22 dinner, and I advocated to leaving the Pepco acquisition and conversion of streetlights as a shared priority for all the municipalities of District 22.
Very
so
good,
we'll
very
continue to advocate for that. All right, one more question. Shania, let's jump through the pictures of Public Works. I'll highlight some of the projects that council prioritized. Among them was the installation of 3 bike racks at the Roosevelt Center. So you can see there pictures of the before and after. So we installed three bike racks with a grasscrete system that allows for stormwater penetration. The picture on the right there is the restoration of the retention wall at the Aquatic and Fitness Center. Next slide, please. We continue to have a strong online presence, not just our our public works projects, but all of our projects. But in this particular slide, I'm highlighting the public works projects. On the human resources, 2 slides ahead, Shania. We've successfully transitioned to the nationwide program. So we're getting a lot of positive feedback from our employees about that transition. We've had our financial advisor out on here in the city for 2 days now, and both times they've been fully scheduled for those visits. So we'll continue to make in-person financial planning and advice sessions available here in the office. As you know, we hired our new city treasurer. We were concerned about that transition. We now have a new city treasurer and things are going well. And we feel prepared to tackle the upcoming budget season, which for us starts in December, and we present that in March to council. My 15 minutes, so any questions, Councilman?
Let's see, I got a couple of questions. So here's a question about public works. Driving around the city, just taking a look at things, some of the street markings over in Greenbelt East on the speed humps. I've noticed that the chevrons, those white chevrons that are actually on each bump, they're faded to the point where it's kind of hard to see them in the evening. So I'm wondering, just in terms of the future, when would repainting some of those lines on the speed humps happen?
On the all road markings are, the replacement and upgrades of those markings are determined by its visibility. They're required to meet a certain visibility standard. So any issues you see around the city, please let me know and I'll have Public Works inspect them to make sure that they're properly visible, and we'll make the changes, so repainting them as necessary. But you mentioned something that I forgot, and I don't know how. Driving around. I hope you've gotten a chance to drive along Crescent, completely resurfaced road.
It's a smooth ride.
That's a very smooth road. One of the issues that came up recently was regarding the bike lanes.
Yeah.
So we had both the contractor and our planning team go out and do the measurements to make sure that all the road markings and the features of the road meet the design standards. We did have to make a correction to make sure that both the travel lane width, the dividing markers, and the bike lane meet standards. So where that road is designed for 11 feet wide travel lanes plus 4 feet bike lanes. In one section of the road, we could not meet that 4 feet wide bike lane. So the Public Works team expanded that section of the road to meet the 4 feet width standard. So now that repair improvement has been made, so that road is up to code.
Thank you for that. Mayor Pro Tem.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask about, because I noticed that the other day when I was biking on Crescent, the little strip. It was not a very long segment.
No,
It
it was
was, I don't know, maybe 100 feet or something, 150 feet maybe. It didn't seem like it was a very long stretch of the road.
It was not a long stretch of the road, and the cost of that issue with the road was that there's a sign that was too close to the road, so the machine that's used for paving, resurfacing the road and compressing the road needed a greater radius around the sign. So that caused the initial issue, but it has now been fixed.
Now, and I don't think there's still, the bike lane markings still aren't on there, are they?
The sheer roads need to go under. There are a few
Okay,
other
yeah.
things that are still pending to be done.
Okay. Is there anything else related? And then I think it came up today, I guess a crosswalk reinstallation. But so some markings, is that all that's left on that repaving project? that's
The
left to do?
markings, the sign, I spoke with Frank earlier today about it. The sign is not required to be there. It had been removed over a year ago. There was a sign that was installed about 2 weeks ago, inadvertently across the sign.
okay.
Then it was removed because the Public Works had made a determination to remove it. Spoke with Frank about it, so I've got the context. The planning team is going to review the use of that crosswalk, and based on design standards, they'll make a recommendation whether the sign should go back.
Are we planning to do the green paint on the bike lanes, or will it just be the sharrows?
The green is the infill for the lane.
Mhm.
So the green is used to fill up the lane. I will discuss the team. I know it's a nice feature. It does require a lot of paint and a lot of labor.
Okay.
But I'll discuss that with the team if they have
Okay.
planned on doing the infill for the lane.
Yeah, I want to follow up on that question about the crosswalk marking. That's at St. Hughes. Is that where we have the crossing beacon, or is that a different?
No, the crosswalk that Councilmember Weaver referenced is the one further up closer to the police station. It goes
Uh-huh.
into the access road into the lake.
Okay. Other questions?
Yeah, you had mentioned that the website is up and running. I know that there was still a little bit of delay getting all of the events and things transitioned over. I was wondering what the plan for that is and when you anticipate that when people do go and look at the community calendar, it will really be showing everything that's up there. I know it takes some time. I do understand that there's a transition going.
The calendar is an issue of functionality depending on how they access the calendar. There's an all departments or all functions calendar, but then there's different departments and different groups have their calendar. So that's one issue we've noticed with the calendar. The second issue is related to the council meetings. That module for council meetings that gets pre-populated from the agenda management tool. So Shania just updated the October and November meeting. Okay, so we're working with the administrative team of updating all the council meetings on the back end. Even if we don't have an agenda or a specific topic associated with that meeting, we're posting an entry into the calendar so that that section of the calendar gets filled. Otherwise, council meetings don't populate into the all activities calendar. So those are little things that we're figuring out. We all know when we're having council meetings, but unless we publish an activity, we don't see that show up on the homepage or the individual calendars.
And with the archives for agendas and meetings, are we going forward? Are we associating a keyword or a topic with agendas for work sessions and meetings as they are published?
On the title, we're making that distinction on the title. So previously, the council work sessions would say council work sections and didn't have a more detailed. Now, in the title, in the primary title, we're associating the topic or the title of that work session.
Topic or keyword? Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right. Any other questions? Okay. Well, I'd like to introduce our recreations team being led by Mr. Greg Varda. Greg, do you want to introduce the team?
Sure, thanks, Josue. Thanks, Mayor and City Council for having us tonight. It's always appreciated to come out and talk to you guys about recreation. Brought a lot of the team out here tonight. If you can pull up our slide program, that'd be good. So what we did is we have this broken down into 9 sections, and honestly, I think any one of these sections could be a complete work session. Instead of hearing from myself or Andrew talk about these programs and services, we're actually going to bring the team out, and they're going to be able to talk to you guys about what they do and the great programs they offer the community. It's coming up here now, the work. Here it is. You can go to the 3rd slide, I think, Shania. So we have our mission statement and vision. Most important part about our mission is to provide recreation programming and facilities which are responsive to the needs of the community. We practice that every day. We listen to the community. We love the ideas that they bring to us. We certainly research best practices too. And our vision is that Greenbelt will be the happiest, healthiest place to live, learn, work, and play. Next slide. We have staff core values. These 6 core values help us to have a positive workplace culture, creativity, integrity, respect, safety, learning, and trust. These take constant work. These are not only for our full-time staff, classified staff here, but throughout the entire department. Our goals, our department goals are to provide excellent program services, places, and spaces, promote natural and historic resources, build community, promote wellness, and ensure equal access for all, manage assets efficiently and effectively, and cultivate an effective dynamic workforce. I'd like to highlight that last one. What you see here is a small percentage of our workforce. We have probably over 100 non-class part-time staff that help us provide these programs and services to the community. We have become, my colleagues have become very adept at managing the part-time workforce. They provide a quality service to the community, and it's not just putting a warm body in there. They go through tremendous training, constant training. We want to make sure that, and a lot of times they're the first line of communication with our community, so we want to make sure that they are on point. So we work with them constantly. And I have to thank council. Back in FY23, council increased the minimum wage to $15 an hour, and also provided, since then, in each fiscal year, provided a 2% COLA for our part-time non-classified workforce, which has helped with staff morale, retention, and the ability to attract new staff. And there's a whole lot of talent right here in the city of Greenbelt that we pull from. And it ranges from high school kids to retirees that work in our department. I have the first, next slide, Shania, and next slide. So we're going to start with the administration. I have Ann Ottomans. She is the Assistant Director of Programs, and Andrew Phelan, who is the Assistant Director of Facility and Operations. And in a few minutes, I'm going to call up our entire administrative team, and they're going to share some information with you as well. But I'm going to start by letting Ann say a few words about the programs.
Sure, thanks, Greg. So we have a fantastic team of talented and dedicated staff, many of who are with us this evening. Our focus with programs is we always strive to improve our existing programs, and where time and space allows, we provide new programs, many of which are in response to community input. So as we bring up our staff, you're going to get to hear a few of the highlights of how we've improved our existing programs and new programs we've created recently.
Thanks, Ann. And one thing that new to our department over the last couple of years is the amount of projects that we've been asked to handle, just given the amount of ARPA projects and capital projects. It used to be Public Works and Community Planning and Development handled a lot of those problems, but given the amount, some of them had to fall into our department. So there's a lot of learning on the fly. And Andrew Phelan has taken the lead on a lot of those projects. So he's going to give you an update on what's going on.
A quick update. Next slide, please. So that's the before of the Strom Hills soccer field. Many of you saw that at Fall Fest. That project is complete. And if you go to the next slide, you can see the new field. It features a Bermuda grass surface irrigation system and a fence to control access. We're planning to permit it to athletic recognition groups and paid rentals as well. The field is lined for one full-length field and two short-sided fields. You can kind of see the white lines on the field there for full length, and the black are for the short-sided.
And if I can draw your attention to that bottom picture there, we have our city manager in action.
Great action shot.
Yeah. So,
I was going to say, I don't think he's filing a workers' compensation claim after what happened about 5 seconds after that photo was taken. We'll also have community open play hours. The schedule for that is to be determined, and it is dependent upon our, athletic recognition group's usage. But as soon as we have those hours available, we'll share them so you're aware, because I imagine you'll be getting questions from the community.
It's important to do that.
Yeah, and that, the Strom Hills Park was just over $1 million in ARPA funds. Any questions on Strom before we move forward? Thank you. Okay, next slide. So the Braden Complex renovations are currently in progress. That is, the top photo is Braden Field number 1. That's our 90-foot full-size baseball diamond. You can see the bottom photo. That is a new Bermuda grass infield, as well as a synthetic mound. Both should help improve play as well as reduce maintenance needs. The grass before was a fescue that you have to cut it 3 to 4 inches. And the ball would just, they'd hit a grounder and it would just kind of die in that grass. So the Bermuda is a much better infield surface. And I'm sure the players are looking forward to getting on it. It is currently closed and there's still some work to be done on Braden number 1, but we're getting very close to completing that field. And next slide. Question?
Do you anticipate that'll be ready for the spring season?
Yeah, so the plan for all of Braden Complex is to have it ready for the spring. We're getting real close with, they're gonna do some seeding and sodding on Braden 2. So we're kind of up against the wall with that, with timing wise, but our hopes are to have everything up and ready to go by March of next season.
I have a question about that as well. So how at the outfield, the area where people play football as well, is that the next phase? Or how's that going to be addressed?
So we looked at that early on, and we aren't dedicating any resources to that, partly because it is a floodplain. I don't know if you've seen some of the videos circulating when we get heavy rains. That would require a considerable amount of grading work. It is something we considered, but just something that we can't take into this budget that we have, but maybe down the line.
Given that Strom Hills was $1 million, we think that this would be more than that to fix
Yeah.
the outfield and make that all Bermuda as well.
So we had $2 million in ARPA funds for this overall project. It was just over $1 million for Strom, and we're going to get to $1 million with Braden with what we have planned.
I just know it's been a sore point.
I will point out that Public Works purchased some new equipment to better take care of the grass on Braden Field, where they can aerate and backfill and seed as well. So hopefully that'll improve the playing surface as well.
Yeah, I know that we have you were just talking about the fence at Strom and the plan for open play and part of that was because we had groups that weren't permitted and damaging the field when it was, when they shouldn't have been playing on it because of rain and that sort of thing. Do we have as many of those problems on Braden Field, or was that much more? I know it was an issue at Strom. Do we have those problems on Braden Field?
Not so much. I don't think I think a lot of the groups that come to Strom aren't necessarily Greenbelt residents based on some of the tags we see in the parking lot when we've had them there. It's funny you say that because as I was heading up here, I did notice an adult group out on Braden Field playing soccer.
Okay.
Fortunately, the field isn't too soggy right now, so they're not going to do any significant damage. But we don't have any plans for Braden right now to put up any more significant fencing to control access.
Thank you.
Okay, so Braden Field number 2 is what's pictured. So you can see the work in progress. That's the outfield with the new warning track. You can't really tell in the photo, but the outfield fence was removed. It was at 275 feet. That field was designed for softball, and we are now renovating it to accommodate Little League play. So the fence is going to come in 50 feet and be at 225 feet. In addition, there will be new covered dugouts at both Braden Field number 1 and number 2, and there will be new LED lights. Braden 1 already has a retrofit with LED lights on it, and is it 8 poles or 7 poles? 8 poles. There's 8 poles currently, light poles currently serving Braden Field number 2. That's going to be reduced to only 4 poles, and those will be all new poles with LED lights that we will be able to control remotely. We're not going to have to go into that shed behind the field and flip a switch every night at like 11 o'clock. So we're all looking forward to that. Any questions on Braden? Next slide, please. This is more Greg's project, but I'll speak to it, in Public Works for that matter. The construction of 2 new pavilions. This is our 50 capacity pavilion. I wasn't able to get a photo of the 25 capacity pavilion because it was in very heavy use when I by an unpermitted group, but they were behaving, so it was fine when I took this photo. But that is, for those of you that have seen it, it's just off from the playground where that's at. These pavilions have been available for rent beginning October 1st. And already we have 11 reservations processed, generating just over $1,000 in revenue. So they're going to be very popular. When spring comes around, Patrick can probably speak to it when he's up here talking about park rangers. They're going to be very busy at Buddy Attic Park, and I wouldn't be surprised if we need to have dedicated park ranger staff there during our peak seasons.
Hey, I'm wondering, I see the sandwich board right there. Is there going to be a place where permits can be displayed or some notice about permit required?
Correct. Yeah. So that's just our generic sandwich board that says area, reserved for permitted use. There is a Spanish side to that as well. But Greg and I have thrown around the idea. We've seen it at state parks, maybe on a pillar, post actual permit in the permitted group. This area reserved for the Phelan family during these hours. So yeah, we're going to do. There's going to be other measures in addition to that, as well as some additional signage with park rules and things of that nature. And new picnic tables, I should add. Those are a temporary picnic table.
Right.
Question?
It is not necessarily related to what you have here, but I did notice some things going in Greenbelt Station. Is that the seating that's going in?
I was just going to mention that. The crews mobilized this week, and the anticipated completion of that is November 7th, and that's for the additional shade structures and tables, larger shade structures than what's there. And there's going to be 2 tables under each one at Greenbelt Station Central Park.
That is exciting. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry it took so long.
Related to that, and because I haven't been over there yet, what area will be disrupted during that cleaning? Is it that lower area below the pavilion?
And so we're permitting them to have a staging area, kind of in the upper area, the
Okay.
open field. That shouldn't be a significant amount of space, but it will just be the 2 sides of the lower area.
Okay.
And their plan is they are to move everything in that lower area away each day as they finish and kind of put anything in that staging area.
And I assume they're only working weekdays?
I haven't confirmed, but I can check on that. You have an event coming up?
We've
Yeah,
got our
okay.
Halloween event on Sunday, which fortunately I was already planning not to do the maze that I usually do in the lower area because it takes way too long to set up. And it sounds like that would be probably maybe part of the area where they've got stuff. But I need to go take a look. I didn't go over there today.
Yeah, I've been teleworking. I'm going to try to get out there tomorrow to see where they're at, but they should at least have some snow fencing up around the construction areas to, delineate.
Yeah,
that
you
area
might-
a bit.
Well, let's talk about this offline because I would like to make sure that we don't have, because we'll have lots of kids running around there on Sunday, and I want to make sure that stuff isn't damaged and also that there isn't any safety issues for the kids. So, but we can follow up
And
with that
any
later.
safety issues should have, like I said, like fenced off to restrict access. But we'll make sure if they don't have it up yet, if there are conditions that necessitate that they have that done by Friday.
Okay.
Okay, want to pull up some admin staff so you can hear from them right now. I'd like to ask Kathy, Administrative Coordinator. Kathy Pratt works at the Youth Center. Carolyn Soder, Administrative Assistant at the Youth Center. Ruth Campbell, Administrative Assistant at the Community Center. Carrie Hannigan, Administrative Assistant at the Community Center. And Kathy Mitchell, Administrative Assistant at the Aquatic and Fitness Center. So they're going to talk to you for a few minutes.
Fantastic. Welcome. It's like musical chairs here. And pull the microphone close.
All right. Does that sound good? I'm Carrie. I work at the community center. I wanted to share that something really special about Greenbelt, and one reason I love working here, is the city's commitment to its people. Many large companies have been increasingly replacing customer service with just automated bots and really frustrating phone trees, and they're really losing the human touch that Greenbelt has intentionally retained. And I think that's only grown more crucial as people are more and more starved for connection. When people call us and we answer the phone, there's always this joy. This has happened to all of us, but it happened to Caroline just the other day, where she answered the phone and someone said, "Oh, you're a real person." So small human interactions can have a huge impact on people. I've noticed this personally. When I'm having a hard day, a really kind cashier can turn my whole day around. So all of us on the admin team are aware of the impact that we have, and we're honored to play that role in the community. We pride ourselves in being available to patrons, so people know that they can always reach us 9 to 4:30, Monday to Friday. We check our voicemails, so we're always trying to be available to everybody. We enjoy providing personalized care for our customers, trying to go above and beyond what they're asking for, to see like what they might not even know that they need to ask for, and they might not even know something that we're offering that could help them. So some of this personalized care we provide is contacting patrons. Often we'll individually call people to enroll them from wait lists, or remind seniors of upcoming trips that are happening. We'll also communicate across language barriers, especially ASL and Spanish, using both human translators and also iPads as needed to complete transactions and during the classes and activities. When people come in with busy children, we like to provide them with coloring pages and activities so the parents can like really focus on the conversation with us and the child is occupied. If we notice someone's having trouble, maybe with hand triggers, filling out paperwork, or standing at the counter, we'll sit with them and we'll try to accommodate their physical needs. We also try to pay attention to the speed the patron needs the transaction to take. So some people need to get in and out and back to work, but other people might have chosen us as their big outing. Sometimes people have been getting over a long illness and they say, "This is the first time I've been out of the house in 3 years." So we want to take time and honor that they've chosen us, which is a huge honor for their big adventure. So we want to work at the speed that each person needs there. We also make personalized suggestions for programs and services based on the conversations that we're having. So someone might mention they recently retired and they're looking to connect with other people. So we might recommend their senior lunch program. A kind of frazzled parent might be looking for some time off, and we might recommend Parents' Night Out. The Gale nursing program is great, especially for adults who come in and share that they're worried about their aging parent in Greenbelt, and they can't, maybe they're long distance and can't be there to check in themselves. So the Gale nursing program will send people out for home calls. Recreation also offers scholarship assistance so that everybody can have an opportunity to participate in community. And we want to make sure and share that information so people know it's available. Also sharing information about upcoming events and festivals, classes, maybe they didn't know we offered, might not have considered. And of course the city groups and clubs based on different hobbies that they reference. We also recommend local resources. So when people come in and say that they're going to take a ukulele class, I'll recommend the Greenbelt Tool Library because I know that they have ukuleles to lend out. We often end up assisting people in mental, financial, and/or physical crisis, facing issues like memory loss, food insecurity, and homelessness. Recreation buildings are often one of the first places that people just come to for help. So we do everything in our power to identify what they need and connect them to the right departments and resources to assist them. So for many people, we are the face of Greenbelt. For some, we're the only department with whom they interact directly. We take this responsibility very seriously, and we want to make sure everyone feels welcome. And if we can't answer your question, we're going to get you to someone who can. We're also the bridge between city systems and patrons. We see firsthand how the public are interacting with our programs and processes, so we can pass this feedback, both positive and negative, on to the coordinators and other staff so they can shape our programs. Our customers are wonderfully expressive, so they often come by to tell us how excited they are about an upcoming program, and I love it when they come in, they show me their artwork and tell me all about the trip. So I love hearing those things from people. And then behind the scenes, we also are always evaluating our internal processes so we can optimize them. So we want to make sure everything's running smoothly and efficiently. And if there's anything that could be improved, that we do improve it. Customers don't really see this side of things. And if we continue doing it well, they never will. So I wanted to share a few stats. This summer, admins processed 1,343 enrollments in our camp sessions for 548 children. Recreation classes have increased significantly since the pandemic. The fall 2019 activity guide was 40 pages long. The fall 2025 guide is 72 pages. So that was a 44% increase. We're continuously setting up new accounts as more of the public hears about our programs. So in fiscal year 25 alone, we created 970 new recreation accounts. And those are by address, so that's more than 970 new people. And now I'll give the floor to Caroline to talk about more of our services.
Thank you, Carrie. Good evening, Council. My name is Caroline Soder. I'm the Administrative Assistant at the Youth Center. I oversee our financial assistance program and our scholarships. So we have financial assistance available to City of Greenbelt residents. And this assists individuals and families in participating in the various classes and programs we offer, as well as getting a membership at the Aquatic and Fitness Center and even our camp programs at a reduced fee. We also have a few scholarships available, and these are available to City of Greenbelt residents as well as non-residents. So we have the Mary Geiger Scholarship, which offers partial assistance for visual and performing arts programs, as well as our senior programs. There's also the Send a Kid to Camp Fund, which assists families with supplementing tuition for our spring and summer camp programs. Just this past spring and summer, I worked with about 35 families, assisting them with camp tuition. So the financial assistance and scholarships truly help so many individuals and families who need additional assistance. I work directly with each person who applies. Everything is kept completely confidential. So anyone is welcome to apply directly with me in person in the office, or they can apply online through our website. Ultimately, though, our goal is to ensure that everyone has an opportunity to participate in our programs, no matter the cost, whether that be through our financial assistance or even payment installments. So we're always here to work with anybody. I've actually recently worked a few Artful Afternoon events at the community center and Spring Hill Lake, setting up an information table with the scholarships we have available, and just there to answer any questions from the community. So it's been a great way to connect with people and also just to share some of the resources that we have available. In addition to this, our admin team also offers support to all of the wonderful events our department hosts, from the family relay games during Labor Day, Fall Fest, face painting for the after school program at Spring Hill Lake during Halloween, designing the beautiful Gobble Wobble t-shirt, to serving hot cocoa at the tree lighting, and even making calls to participating children from Santa at the North Pole. I also manage our facility rentals at the youth center. So this includes our gym, multipurpose room, and conference room. We get a lot of requests from the public to host things like baby showers there, birthday parties, family gatherings. Our recognition groups also use that space for their activities and meetings that they have. Along with this, we also have notary services that we offer to the public. So it's a free service that we have. Both myself and my colleague, Kathy Proct, are both notaries. So at any time during the week, either one of us is always available to notarize documents. We actually just had someone coming yesterday. So patrons expressed to us that just how grateful they are to have that service available. And it can be challenging to find a notary these days, and especially the fact that we're able to offer that at no charge is really a terrific benefit. So we're really happy to be able to do that for the community. Thank you. And next, Kathy is going to share more about our recognition groups.
Good evening, I'm Kathy. I work at the Youth Center. In addition to what Caroline and Carrie have already shared with you, the Recreation Department also manages our recognition group process. Our recognition group program provides needed support to community-based organizations who provide whose programming contributes significant value to our city and to our residents. In mid to late December, applications are updated and posted to the city website and emailed to all of our recognition groups, with a submission deadline typically that takes place in the first week of February. Once we receive the completed applications, our staff review the applications and provide feedback to our applicants regarding clarity and accuracy of the material. In April, we assemble a grant review panel that is comprised of representatives from our advisory boards. This panel evaluates the grant applications and submits funding recommendations to council. In May, groups applying for the grant funding are invited to come before council to ask questions or to respond to questions that council has for them. City council reviews the grant review panel's recommendations to make final determinations on all the funding allotments. Once approved, each group receives a letter regarding the awarded amount, as well as instructions and deadlines for submitting receipts for their reimbursements. It's my responsibility to track all reimbursements and to document this information to ensure proper use of the funds. I also maintain an updated roster of our recognition groups with their contact information, and our public information office posts this information to the city website, and it is also included in our quarterly recreation activity guide. I also do share this information with our recreation staff that manage our facility rentals, and I can speak more to that in just a moment. The recognition group process involves many moving parts, and it requires seamless coordination across multiple city departments, and these include our public information office, our finance department, advisory boards, our city clerks, and our council. Our collaborative effort ensures transparency and accountability throughout the grant cycle. Currently, the city supports 60 recognition groups. 47 of these groups hold basic certification, and these groups receive in-kind services, which consist of use of space, but also that their information is posted on the city website and in our activity guide. We currently have 3 groups that receive project grants, and we have 10 groups that receive operating grants. In addition to the funding, these groups are also entitled to in-kind services and their information shared across the city. As council is aware, the support the city provides to our recognition groups saves the city hundreds of thousands of dollars in programming costs annually. These groups are a vital and necessary resource, greatly enhancing the quality of services offered to our community. And I thank you very much for the opportunity for us to come and speak with you today.
Well, thank you very much. Hey, just a quick question about the rentals and whatnot. How the commercial kitchen, is that becoming more popular? How often? I know there's some things in order to qualify to use the kitchen. But are rentals picking up this year?
So actually, regarding the commercial kitchen, that is at the community center. So Trevin Green, he will speak to that. Thank you. Anyone else have any more questions?
Have you guys started working on your plans for your holiday door decoration contest? Because it's
will
pretty
not
competitive
confirm
last
at
year.
this time.
Yeah.
We will not confirm nor deny that we have plans.
Yeah, we may have had a few conversations about it. You know, it's hard to top last year's though. So, yeah. No, especially not with Patrick. So,
You set yourself a very high bar.
yeah, no, we did. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we do have a question. Mr. Orleans, you have a question?
Oh.
So I want to acknowledge Matt Sickle, who's the chair of our Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. Recognize the fact that you're here. And at some point, if you have some questions or if you want to provide some input, we'd love to hear it. Yeah. Please, Mr. Orleans.
I have a couple, but I could have waited until the rest of the panel had completed their reports to council. A specific quick question, quick answer to the city manager. What are AEDs, which have been installed in city buildings? AEDs?
Automatic external defibrillators.
Thank you. In a recitation of the rec department, I'm curious, there doesn't seem to be a mention of Spring Hill Lake, and I know there have been improvements done to the Spring Hill Lake Rec Center. I thought they might have been featured in this presentation, but they were not. I don't know why. But a general question, which I came tonight to ask, it's been about 2 years, I believe, since there was a promotional opportunity within the Recreation Department, which was filled without having been noticed to employees of the Recreation Department or others. And I'm hopeful, while I had thought it might be litigated, and maybe it has been, and council just chooses not to talk about it, but while I had thought it would be, maybe it was not. But I would hope that the city manager and the director and the assistant directors and council would commit tonight that in the future, when there's a promotional opportunity within any Greenbelt department, it will be appropriately noticed so that all other employees, other than favorite sons or favorite sons, have the opportunity to solicit for the job. Thank you very much.
I just wanted to remind you that we ask folks to limit their remarks to 3 minutes and to speak on one topic related to the question under consideration. And we ask that you avoid disparaging and questioning the motives of others. But thank you.
Mr. Mayor, it's my practice that we advertise all positions. I can't speak to what was done or not done, but as you have seen from the positions that we've filled during my tenure, we post them.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Let's continue on with the present. There's no questions online. Okay, let's continue.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you for acknowledging Mr. Sickle. I wanted to do that, and we appreciate his support in the Recreation Department. So thanks for being here, Matt. We're going to deviate slightly from our slide presentation. We have two young ladies back here that graduated from the Learn to Earn program and can't wait till the end of the presentation. So Ann's going to talk a little bit about the Learn to Earn program, and you're going to get to hear from them quickly. Thanks.
Thanks, Greg. So I know you guys know all about our Learn to Earn program. I've seen most of you at the graduation ceremonies. We're about to start our third session. It starts on Saturday, and we're very grateful. We have Victoria and Sayuri, who are graduates of the Learn to Earn program, who are just going to share a few thoughts about their experience with us. So Victoria, please.
Hello, hi, I'm Victoria. I'm an 18-year-old first-year student at Drexel University. My major is biomed engineering, and I did the Learn to Earn program last fall, and it was really inspirational and really taught me a lot about ways to go about how to find a career that fits me, and also just what process I would want when I'm trying to find what I need in life. And through the Learn to Earn program, I was able to do my internship at the Accessibility Management Solutions. And that was a really wonderful opportunity for me because I was able to work around people that was able to support my dreams and kind of speak life into me and what I wanted to do. And that was a really great opportunity that I wouldn't have been able to get without the Learn to Earn program. So I was really grateful for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sayuri Toombs. I'm currently 18 years old, and I go to Prince George's Community College. I'm getting my accounting certificate, and I'm getting my business administration degree right now. So I did my internship just across the street at the Co-op, the supermarket pharmacy. I originally went there to just learn accounting, because that's just what I wanted to do then. But then I ended up like just doing every job in the store. But they have me running up and down the stairs all day. But I mean, I'm not gonna complain. I learned a lot of really good things there, like inventory, invoices, like I wanted to do. Just a bunch of different stuff that will be good for basically any job, especially customer service as the basis to really anything you want to do. But I will say there were a few things I struggled with because it was my first job, and I'm glad that I did do this because I learned from it. Now I'm like a whole completely different now. But I would say something that I struggled with would definitely be communication. I'm more of a quiet person. I don't like talking about my feelings or like how I feel about certain things. So I had trouble speaking up to like my manager and customers and stuff like that. I had trouble asking for help, which is something you need to do when you're working that type of job. But they were really supportive. Like she said, they spoke life into me and they really helped me be confident. So not only did I learn, an aspect, the business aspect, but I also grew as a person as well. I think that's a really good thing. So I appreciate the Learn to Earn program, and I appreciate you all for being here and everything. You do a great job. So thank you.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for taking time out of your schedule to come and join us this evening. And really, thank you.
Thank you.
May have
Sayuri.
learned now what maybe you don't want to do either.
So as you all know, I'm sure, this is one of LaToya Fisher's passion projects. She has been mentoring youth her entire career, and she's able to continue to do it through the Learn to Earn program. So she'll be getting started. She's sick this evening, unfortunately. I'm hoping she's better by Saturday for the opening of the third session of Learn to Earn. But it's been an incredible program, and we're happy to highlight it this evening with those two young ladies.
Thank you, Ann. We're gonna go back to the schedule now and call up the staff for the Aquatic and Fitness Center.
For support. Oh, thanks. Good evening, folks. This is the staff of the Greenbelt Aquatic and Fitness Center. I have to my right Ms. Kathy Mitchell. I think they can hear me. Okay. She actually started off as a CSR, customer service rep, and worked her way up to the administrative assistant. She worked there for 4 years, and then for the last year and a half, she's been my administrative assistant. Basically, she's the office manager. She runs the building. So she pays all my bills, makes sure I'm kept in line. But also, she also has taken on the task for the last 10 months as an aquatic coordinator supervisor. She covers the supervision of the front desk staff, the fitness attendants, and the water exercise program. So next to her is Miss Cynthia Brown. She's been with me for 8 years. She is an aquatic coordinator too. She's the nuts and bolts of the pool side of the facility. She's got lifeguards, she's got pool managers, swim instructors. For safety, she's got the first aid and CPR class that we offer to not only our staff, not only to the public, but to the recreation department, to the police department, and to Public Works. We offer classes for them. She's got the swim program. So we have our Learn to Swim program for children. We have our adult swim program, of course, for adults. And then we also have our homeschool program, which is held on Fridays during the year. On top of that, with the lifeguards and the pool managers, she's responsible for their making sure they maintain their certification. So we have on our staff 2 lifeguard instructor trainers, herself, myself, and then 2 part-time employees that cover their training. And they are also the ones that teach the first aid CPR classes. Myself, I counted it out. I'm 18 years, 6 months, and 26 days into service for the city of Greenbelt. It's a long time. But I've had the pleasure of working with some great people that are in this room, not only at the pool, but in the entire recreation department. So, and Ms. Shania at the city office. Josue's kind of new, so. But most of you guys on here that have been here for a while, I've worked with you, and you guys have worked with us. We have the indoor and outdoor facility, and plus our fitness wing. Outdoor pool took on the brunt of our business this summer with the closure of the indoor pool, which is finally now reopened, and we're in the process of getting the hot tub up and running, hopefully within the next couple of weeks. Fitness wing, thank you guys for getting me some money to replace the equipment and the fitness wing. In that 18 years, 6 months, and 26 days, I've actually gone through a full cycle of replacing all the equipment down there, including the Paramount machine in the middle, because I got parts from Brian Butler over at Spring Hill Lake. So that is not the original. It's got parts on it. So every piece of machinery has been replaced.
Did you say you're going to replace that piece of machine?
No,
You're going to replace
we are
that?
not replacing that.
I thought that's what you said.
Slide 18, we have photos of the new equipment.
It was delivered today. 4 ellipticals, 5 treadmills, and then the 4 recumbent bikes.
That's great. Yeah,
So
that's fantastic. And you say that it's going to be up and running in a couple weeks?
the hot tub, hopefully, yes. That reopens tomorrow at 6 a.m.
Really?
Which is why I'm so gracious that they put me at the beginning of this, so I can get out and get some sleep and make sure we open on time.
So do we get a,
Yeah, do we?
we need to have some kind of like, you need to teach me how to use this now. I'm gonna come.
Oh
and I
no!
was new
So
and
the
I don't
best
know what to
thing,
do.
the best thing about these new machines, and the downfall is when I said, "Hey, I didn't get manuals and I didn't get serial numbers." He goes, "Well, with today's technology, everything is online." These machines all have the capability of I could plug them in and they could be ready to go. But I want to make sure that you guys get your money's worth out of them. So you power the machines to get them started, all of them. So if you're not pedaling hard enough and you're not, or running hard enough, and you're saying it's not working, well, guess what? You got to pick up the pace just a little bit.
There you go.
So pretty much all the machines are self-explanatory. They have quick starts. The bikes are quick start. You pedal, quick start, and then you can go. You can pick out whatever program you want. The treadmills are the same. The one treadmill that is not in there is the one that we got for accessibility. It is actually 6 inches lower to the ground and has a longer rail, but it still works the same way as the other one. The machine in the corner is more of a stair climber than it is an elliptical, which is in the middle bottom picture on the right-hand side. But the ellipticals, they work the same way as the old ones do. And the nice thing about them is I don't have to worry about power surges, blowing out the machines or causing disruptions to service.
Yeah, I think Ms. Pope wants to challenge council to a bout on the step climbing, the step machine. Did I hear that correctly?
Come on over.
So I could organize a
I'm there all the
plastic man
time.
competition where, see how fast and far you can go, and we can track that.
Well, it's not all about speed. It's like endurance.
It's
you know,
endurance,
just-
yes.
But okay, I'm up.
So
Challenge.
So I'm open to questions. We're open to questions.
You hit on most of the points I was wondering about the whirlpool and the fitness equipment. Hey, so just with reopening the pool, anything different or any challenges? After being closed for such a long time, is enrollment up or is it back to where it was before?
Enrollment's back. We were able to accommodate those that actually asked for membership pauses. there were some hiccups along the way in regards to wrong email addresses, bounce back email addresses, and we're just taking care of those as they come in. The summer programs we ran as many programs as we possibly could in that outdoor pool. From learn to swim to we had to eliminate adult lessons, but we still had our seniors. They went out there and braved the cold, and they actually loved it. So now we're back full bore. We have our adult lessons are back. Evening water aerobics is back. Morning is still there. All our learn to swim programs are back up and running. Homeschool is picked up. So I think the biggest problem we ran into is the fact that the infrastructure of the pool itself, we had some leaks that we had to take care of. We got them taken care of, but it's aged gracefully.
Yeah, the only thing I heard was some of our residents were actually happy that we were able to extend the outdoor pool hours a little bit longer. I know it's hard with the lifeguards, but a lot of people said they like being outside a little bit longer. Other questions? Yes, please.
I just wanted to comment that I've, and recently in talking to residents, so many of them have been really complimentary over the way the pool was handled with the closure of the indoor pool and the outdoor pool, the way it was sort of way you extended the opening, and people were just really impressed with how that was handled. Really glad that they still had access to it, and really happy that it still opened pretty much on time. So I just kudos on all of that, because that was a lot for you guys to have to manage. I know there's a lot of competing groups and people who needed access. So, but I think overall folks were really pleased, and also they're really excited to get that whirlpool pool back online. So I've had a couple people ask about the whirlpool. I'm like, it's coming.
It's coming.
But so thank you guys for all of that hard work. It makes council look good when you guys do things like that, when you do your job so well. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Jose,
Yeah, Councilmember.
my daughter will be in town over Christmas break to give you some goalie tips. For those that you don't know, she's plays for Sporting Jacks down in Jacksonville, Florida.
Whoa.
So, but she's a goalkeeper. So I saw some of the aftermath. Yeah.
Wear some Bengay before you start.
No, it's icy hot now. They don't do Bengay anymore.
Councilmember McKinney.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you have gotten any requests from residents for programming or equipment and things that you just haven't been able to accommodate.
We get requests for programs all the time. The problem is trying to fit them into the space that we have with the programs that we are already running. So between lessons, between swim team, water aerobics, there's not enough space, not enough time to give everybody what they want. So we try to do what we can and do the best that we can.
Yeah, thank you so much. You guys are doing a great job. Thank you.
So I'll see you tomorrow at 6, right?
4 a.m.
Oh, yeah. Andrew the 4 a.m. ribbon cutting will be tomorrow morning, and council will be there to.
You send me a picture.
Okay. Well, thanks for having us.
But I'll be there.
Thank you, Aquatics. And next up, we're going to have community center staff.
Good evening.
Well, good evening. I'd like to first show my appreciation for being a city employee. I'm so grateful. I get to wake up to come to a job that is just so amazing, and also to work with such a great great team of people with the recreation staff. It's just a blessing every day. So I just wanted to say my appreciation to everybody in this room. I'm Trevin Green. I'm the community center supervisor of the beautiful 55 square foot historic building that houses a lot of different programs that you will hear a lot about. I'm here to really speak about the operation side of things because that's pretty much, without operations of that building, none of these programs exist or anything go on. So to my right, we have Adam Lamus, and we also have Carrie Hannigan and Ruth Campbell. They did an awesome job of there speaking about the admin team. So they took a lot of the words out for what I was going to say. But you heard a lot about what the admin team does in the operation side and things like that. So things that about the community center in itself, you know, it's an amazing building, houses a lot of different programs. You spoke about the commercial kitchen that we're growing. We've got a lot more people interested. I just had about 4 emails and sent out things to them about the next steps, what they got to do, all the things. So it's definitely picking up with interest. Obviously, we had Tapia Foods, who received an award for the program that we had over there. Go to the next slide, please. Yeah, so yeah, that one, thank you. So we got cleaning and maintenance. I like to recognize Public Works because I work very closely with Public Works on a constant basis to make sure the building is clean. As you can see, we got pictures going on, the building's maintained, in the arts department. As you can see also there, those are the new boilers being put in that will, as speaking to Desmond, everything should be in place next week and should be inspected and fired up and running by the end of next week. So we have a new boiler system.
That's great news, yeah.
Yep, and you can go to the next slide, please. We did some accessibility improvements. After going through the historic easement and putting things, we finally got the yellow lines put on the steps to help with the visually impaired so they can see the steps a lot better. We got that on the east wing and on the front steps as well, front entrance. Go to the next slide, please. So obviously the community center houses a lot of the city offices and other tenants that we have in the building. And you can see they're happy with what we're doing and taking care of them. I check on them every day to make sure, like, what do you need? Because not only customer service to our community, but also customer service to people that we work with. I'm a full believer that we are one team in this city. Next slide, please. All right, so with this one, I'm gonna pass it off to Adam, who is our coordinator, who handles all of the room reservations and things like that going on.
Good evening. Kevin said, my name is Adam Delmans. I'm the Community Center Coordinator. I'm going to be talking about meetings, rentals, and events, together with programs that constitutes a very large part of what the Community Center does on a day-to-day basis. Part of my job is reserving space for these events and meetings, pretty much making sure that groups have a physical space to meet in, which fits their needs. So there are around 50 groups that meet at the community center on a regular basis. That includes both City of Greenbelt recognition groups, as well as a good number of private rental groups that pay to use the space. So I'll touch on each type of group in turn, starting with recognition groups. We provide space to Cub Scout and Girl Scout troops. We currently have 6 in total that utilize space with us. 2 of those started meeting this fall. Several of the Greenbelt's musical groups meet at the community center for rehearsals: the Greenbelt Concert Band, Greenbelt Wind Ensemble, Greenbelt Community Orchestra, all rehearse weekly. And Greenbelt Hunk situation also meets here, depending on the weather. They like to use the Roosevelt Center as well if the weather's nice.
So are they going to be coming inside over the winter, or are they going to continue?
It's about that time of year. We've sent out invitations to all these groups to make requests for space. I haven't heard back from Dan yet, but I imagine as the weather gets a little more chilly, they'll head inside for rehearsals.
Let's hope we can keep them in one place as opposed to marching up and down the halls.
Yeah. Along with rehearsals, we host and support several community concerts in the gym each year for the concert band and the community orchestra. And then, of course, we have a number of other clubs that meet at the community center: Rotary Club, the Writers Group, Astronomical Society, Greenbelt Unplugged, Greenbelt Ruach, just to name a few. Although not technically recognition groups, we have been providing in-kind accommodations to several NASA Goddard organizations in light of the current shutdown. The Goddard Music and Drama Club has been rehearsing at the community center since the beginning of the shutdown. We've also been providing space to the Goddard Engineers, Scientists, and Technicians Association, which is their union. So they've been having meetings as well. Just echoing what Kathy said earlier, we really do appreciate the city's recognition groups and that structure that we have in place. There's so much that citizens have the opportunity to engage with. It really helps enrich the community. And so part of my role as coordinator and the community center in general, one of our goals is to make it as easy as possible for these groups to find a place to meet. So that's something I pride myself on is if you need a place to meet, I'm gonna make it work. So yeah, that includes making the process as easy and seamless as possible. Making sure that the rooms are ready, that they're set up, tables and chairs, that they have what they need to meet, because we want to make sure the community center is somewhere that these groups they want to meet.
Next slide, please.
I do have a quick question. How many homeowners associations or condo associations are meeting in the community?
So we currently have 3 homeowners associations, 2 of which really only meet maybe once a year. Greenbook Estates, though, they meet much more frequently.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to talk a little bit about our private rentals as well. We accommodate a broad range of activities and events, basketball and volleyball rentals in the gym. We have social dance clubs that utilize our dance studio. We accommodate personal events like birthday parties, baby showers, memorial services, weekly religious meetings on Sundays and Saturdays, business meetings and trainings and everything in between. Many of these groups are long-standing. They've been meeting at the community center for years and years. The Tuesday basketball group, their point of contact, that gentleman has been renting with the community center since it opened in 1996. Tom Reynolds, if any of you are familiar. Yep. And that's similar for a lot of the groups. They've been meeting at the community center for years. Just to highlight some recent developments within the last calendar year, I know this is Q1 update, but within the last calendar year, we've attracted 4 new church groups for our Sunday schedule. So if you're ever at the community center on Sunday, you'll probably hear them singing.
Yep.
Yeah, so together, the recognition groups and private rentals, that constitutes a good chunk of our day-to-day operations. Which brings us to our part-time staff. I would be remiss here if we did not acknowledge their contributions to our operations. They play a vital role in our daily operations in supporting larger events as well. They often serve as the main interface between patrons and the city, answering questions or sending folks in the right direction if they don't have the answer, being responsive and just providing that top-notch customer service and making people feel welcome. They provide a lot of behind-the-scenes support as well for events and daily operations, moving tables and chairs throughout the facility, setting up and breaking down rooms for meetings, and passing on information to full-time staff, particularly on the weekends and after business hours, as most full-time staff are not on site. So they're really our eyes and ears whenever the building is open. And I directly oversee our center leader team, so I, of course, have to give them a shout out.
Very cool. What's that green and white thing on the table?
That is a remnant of COVID. We still have some staff that will sanitize the area just because it is a shared workspace for them. So periodically they'll go through and just spray things down.
Makes sense, yeah.
Next slide, please.
I'm going to talk about several of the programs that the community center has. If it feels like some of these topics are a little disconnected, is because my role is I have a hand in a lot of different things. So I'm talking about all the things that I play a part in, and part of that is programs. So we have Kinder Camp. Kinder Camp is our summer camp program designed for preschool age children, 3.5 to 5. A typical camp day will include arts and crafts, games, story time, outdoor play, and on some days we'll have a field trip or special guest. As you can see some of those photographs here. I'll touch on some of the highlights. For field trips, we had the opportunity to visit the Goddard Visitor Center, where the kids got to hear about living in space. They got to try on, as you can see on the bottom photo, some space gloves. There was also an astronaut helmet that they got to try on. And I'm really happy that we had a chance to go, because I understand that the Goddard Visitor Center may be closing in the near future due to cuts, which is a real shame. So we're happy that we had a chance to go. Some of our special guests there, we had the DC reptile guys. If you can tell, that's a very large snake that he's holding. It had a name, I don't remember what it was, but the kids got to touch it. He had a bunch more. Some of them got to touch, some not. He was a big hit. At the bottom right there, we have Greg May. For those of you who don't know who Greg is, he is the man behind Circus Camp. He's really, really good at what he does. He's really good with kids as well. So we were really happy to have him, and definitely someone that we'll try and get back in the future. Final highlight for Kinder Camp this year, due to the ongoing renovations at the Aquatic Center. Normally, Kinder Camp would go to the pool twice a week. Instead of that, we provided outdoor water activities. We got a slip and slide, water balloons, water squirters. And that was a big hit. So it's something, even when we're able to go back to the pool regularly, we will likely continue with some outdoor water activities. Adult fitness, really quick. We have a new yoga class starting in January. It's an evening class. We haven't had evening yoga for a little over a year, so we're excited to have that back. Our current yoga instructor is fantastic. She used to offer evening classes, but just due to personal reasons, she stopped. So we have those coming back, and it's someone that she recommended. So if you're interested in yoga, that'll be starting up in the winter.
All right, thank you. As you can see, I have a trusted staff that I trust so much. I'm just so blessed to work with them every day, and I'm proud of them. So, one team, one goal to win. Let's get it done. Any questions for us?
All right, thank you.
Thank you for
Yeah,
everything.
thanks. Keep up the
Sorry,
good work.
I can't keep it in any longer. I have to gush about it. I keep hearing the staff talk about how important it is to have this personal touch, and just having been someone who I have had so many conversations with Ruth and Carrie. I have used notary services. Kathy, I have been like 9 months late during in recognition group things. The services that you guys provide to our community, it's incredible, and we're all so fortunate to have each and every one of you guys. So just thank you all so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hey, I do have a quick question. I'm just wondering, I know during the summer programs, the youth camps, we put a special emphasis on addressing the needs of folks with special needs. So is there a protocol, or how have you modified your practices, or are you keeping up some of the things that you may have done over the summer?
Yeah, one of our upcoming sections is on therapeutic recreation, so the inclusion program will be covered during that.
Okay, thank you.
Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, our arts program, Nicole and Amanda, please join me up here. We have a phenomenal arts program. I know I've seen a lot of you at a lot of the programs, so I look forward to having Nicole and Amanda share some of the highlights.
Thanks, Ann. Amanda's going to kick it off for us tonight. We're visual arts coordinator too.
All right. So if you go to the next slide, we're actually going to start out with camps. But before I talk about camps, I do want to recognize just how grateful we are to everyone who's gone before us, our administrative team, and of course the community center. The majority of our programs are in the community center, so we receive so much support from the team that just went before us. All right, camps. Our performing arts coordinator, Chris Cherry, was unable to be here today. He is the brain and leadership behind all of our arts camps. So I'm going to share the paragraph that he sent me, but I realize I didn't say my name, Amanda Larson, the visual arts coordinator. I work very closely with him, so do feel free to ask me any questions and I will do my best to answer. But this is from Chris. Camp provided experiences for 355 youth and teens this year, including Spring Circus Camp, Summer Circus Camp, Creative Kids Camp, and Camp Encore. And Chris notes that Summer Circus Camp and all 4 sessions of Creative Kids Camp filled to capacity. Each of the camps culminated in free performances delighting family, friends, and community members. CKC performed Chris's original musical, Memory Quest, in Central Park. Scenic art elements created for this production by Greenbelt Arts instructors and artists in residence were exhibited in the art gallery on weekends. In addition to serving the campers, the arts camps provided employment for 64 seasonal staff and interns. These included many young workers receiving compassionate guidance and excellent pre-professional training in an inclusive setting. The restoration of Camp Encore to its pre-pandemic format of 2 4-week sessions involved providing an additional 5 weeks of camp programming for the teenage population. Chris also notes that program participants and their parents consistently express profound appreciation, and I've provided 2 quotes from evaluations on the slide. And if there are no questions about camps, we'll go on to the next slide. Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, just a comment,
Yeah.
because one of my colleagues at Goddard, her daughter was in the Creative Kids Camp and was more interested in like the art stuff, the hands-on stuff, and was a little skeptical about the performance, but enjoyed it enough that she actually like went out for her elementary school play as a result of having done that over the summer. So I think that's, you know, she wanted to do the hands-on and sort of like reluctantly was performing, but it made a difference. She tried something new.
That's wonderful. And also as visual arts coordinator over the past, well, since I've started, Chris has let me play a bigger and bigger role, putting more visual arts in Creative Kids Camp. So I'm also really grateful for that. And I think Nicole as well, in the sets side of it. So quarterly programs. In addition to summer camps, we hold quarterly programs for all ages. And it is completely impossible to fit all of this information onto one slide. So I'll talk really fast. Just this fall session, so far, just one session, we have 669 individual class registrations in visual arts classes alone and 239 in performing arts classes. And there will be more before the session is over. So that's over 900. 392 are for children ages 0 to 12, 96 are teen registrations, and 427 are for adult registrations in arts classes. This doesn't even include our twice monthly free all ages artful afternoons that don't require registration, that usually serve close to 100 people a month, and Nicole's going to touch on that later. These numbers don't just show our hard work. They show the great value that Greenbelters place in the arts and in incorporating the arts into their lives. Our work is to use the resources that we have to meet those needs. In the visual arts, the ceramics program is by far the most popular and well-established. Our evening beginning wheel class continues to fill within the first hour of resident registration opening. We have wheel, hand building, tile, sculpture, Newer classes include make and take classes appropriate for the non-ceramicists. So you're all invited to come try out the ceramics program. We also have specialized workshops, requested by the Greenbelt Pottery Group. A newer class is paper clay, a type of clay mixed with cellulose, making it strong enough to hold intricate detail, and examples of this can be seen in the current display in the Community Center East Hallway. Beyond ceramics, we have beginning sewing, stitching, wool felting, beginning drawing, as well as illustration and comic art, stained glass, fused glass, linoleum block printmaking, and other forms of printmaking, watercolor, acrylic, and oil painting techniques, puppet crafting, wood carving, bookbinding, animation, and filmmaking. Some of our instructors have art degrees. They all have experience, some years of experience. They have specialized training in their fields. Some of them come to us from other community organizations, some from public schools, some even from teaching at community colleges. One of our most popular programs is Parents' Night Out, and we recently were able to increase this program to twice monthly. Our Parents' Night Out instructors and inclusion staff are trained in our camp training program, which Chris mentioned earlier. Our performing arts programs include baby music, dance together, and storybook dance theater for the smallest participants, ballet, contemporary, tap, point, ballroom, jazz, belly dance, and beyond the dance program, ukulele, and our once yearly Greenbelt Youth Musical, which starts at the end of fall session and culminates in performances in March. And next slide. Our youth performance programs. So all of these performing arts programs lead to some wonderful performance opportunities. Angela Foster, the director of our dance program, leads the dance program. They do many dance performances, but there is one big performance in December. I've included photos of the Greenbelt Youth Musical and the December dance performance because these are the two biggest performances. However, in this quote that I'm going to share from Chris, he mentions all of our many performance opportunities. And this is from Chris. The performing arts classes and camps presented 18 major ticketed performances in the Community Center Gymnasium Auditorium. So this included camp as well, along with many more in-studio end-of-semester showings. Ticketed shows are free or nominally priced at $5. Ticketing ensures maximum attendance without exceeding the room's capacity. And lastly, Chris provided a paragraph about the Greenbelt Youth Musical, which is led and directed by him, so important to his heart. Engaging with the content of the show affords participants the opportunity to reflect on the complexities of character development and to think critically about social dynamics. In the rehearsal and performance process, young actors learn to practice mutual support in the pursuit of shared goals. In 2025, the featured show was Secret Circus, which truly spoke to the historical moment. Thank you. Question? I can answer for Chris too.
Questions?
Thanks, Amanda. I'm Nicole DeWald. I'm the art supervisor, and I have the great privilege and pleasure of working with both Amanda on visual arts and Chris in performing arts, and working together as a team to, as you mentioned, discover the synergies among these areas and find ways that we can reinforce and support each other's work. I do want to add that both Amanda and Chris are tremendous artists as well as program leaders, which accounts for some of the tremendous depth that you see in the programs that they are able to produce with such immense dedication and skill. I also would like to recognize the large cadre of part-time staff who support our programs and are absolutely essential to our being able to deliver the range of services that we are proud to provide. And those include Ann Gardner, our arts education specialist, Maggie Kaysen, who's our visual arts manager, as well as our arts promotion specialist and costumer, and actually makes costumes as well. We have arts and studio assistants. Beth Fendley is our ceramic studio manager. We have many instructors who we're fortunate to work with, who you alluded to, and production staffers supporting the shows as well. So it really there are so many hands involved in creating what we do together, and it's just such a privilege to work with all of them. Thank you for the opportunity to bring us together to do this work. If we could have the next slide, please. Thank you. I wanted to tell you about a few of the other artists who we work with. As you know, we have 8 artists in residence at the Greenbelt Community Center. Again, extremely talented and in very different ways. And in addition to contributing to the operation of the Greenbelt Community Center as tenants who do pay us for their spaces, they also contribute in so many other ways beyond that. 5 of them are regular instructors in our program who mentor and teach our up-and-coming artists, who often then become instructors themselves. So we've seen multiple generations of mentorship, enriching community opportunities. In addition to the teaching, there are such creative gifts that these artists bring to the community. Rachel Cross, for instance, leads the annual Uke Jam on the community center front lawn, which is such a joyful gathering. Larry Anderson, our violin maker, donated a beautiful work of art to be auctioned off to benefit our scholarship program. Mary Golick has helped with costumes. Kathy Carlson and Rachel Kerwin have helped to make sets for Chris's shows. And Chris Corson is currently working on a project to bring the work of Greenbelt ceramic artists to the Studio Gallery in DC, where he's a member, and it is a co-op. So he's very eager to represent the Greenbelt program through wall panels and so forth, and really highlight the work of the program as well as the work of the individual artists. So we're looking forward to seeing that come together in January. In terms of recent highlights in our exhibition area, as I know you're well aware, we were very thrilled to present the work of Danielle Towers, her photojournalistic take on Greenbelt, which has led to a new addition to the Greenbelt Public Art Collection that you guys are enjoying, I'm sure, here at the Municipal Building. And at least one of you has one in their personal collection, which has grown. I'm glad that the work was so well received. Really shedding great insight, into our life and capturing it beautifully. We've also recently had a show with Judith Cornett, who participated in our art studio open house and did hands-on demonstrations with her spinning and rug hooking techniques for all ages. It was truly an immersive experience in addition to presenting a beautiful show. We have Julia Gould's incredible paintings up right now, and we have an artist talk coming up with her on November 14th. And I did also want to highlight that we hosted a benefit show with a Greenbelt artist named William Moats in the gallery, who has a lifetime of work that he brought and shared with us. Not only was it a powerful display, but all of the proceeds from the sales went to the CARES Emergency Fund, and that raised over $3,700 for them. So we were delighted to support that partnership. I also work on public art, as many of you know, and thank you for your participation. We were able to dedicate the sculpture at Motiva this year, the project that we developed with the Washington Glass Studio that had 3 community workshops, everything from sledgehammering to kiln forming glass to create this beautiful lasting piece. And it's just a wonderful statement of community and inclusion to see so many hands again represented in the artwork itself. We have another project with a similar ethos going on behind it. You saw the wonderful images of Braden and all the tremendous progress that's happening there. That will include a sculpture in the not too distant future that we've been working on for a while with lots of community input, both at the conceptual level and in the physical level of contributing to this piece, which will have a mosaic surface. And there you see it on the lower right. That's an artist rendering of the joyful cartwheeling figure that should be gracing that field soon. We also have an RFQ waiting to go out for Greenbelt Square, so that will be our next big project. And for that, we're just waiting on some clarity on the construction schedule so that we can dovetail our work in artist selection with that. So next slide, please. Wanted to give you a little bit of an overview of the special events that are produced through the arts program. Our ongoing events include twice monthly Artful Afternoons. So these are free events for all ages, and we do get all ages, from families with young children to adults attending by themselves. It's a invigorating, creative, safe welcoming third space that we're so happy to be able to provide with a wide range of activities, both dance activities, visual art activities, sometimes fantastic performances, like the Chinese dance concerts we've been able to hold in celebration of Asian Pacific American Heritage Month, and the proclamations have been made there with the mayor. It's been our honor to host that. We have featured the dancers from Eleanor Roosevelt High School, as well as Evolution Dance Studio, based over in Greenbelt West, and just a wide array of activities. Twice a year, the Artful Afternoons also include an art studio open house. So you get to tour the studios of the artists in residence. We also feature GATE in the classes that we offer in partnership with them, and they generally have hands-on activities. We highlight the work of participants in our Art Share program, a wonderful meetup that's, again, free and open to the community. We have provided instruction for the not so secret Wild Rumpus community dance number that we were just rehearsing tonight, final rehearsal. So it's looking great. And so twice a year we have those art studio open houses. Once a year we do a couple of major events. The Rumpus itself, of course, coming up on Friday, 4:30 to 6 p.m. All ages are welcome. And we also host Sparkle Mart in the first weekend of December, which has over 80 local artists and artisans and authors, as well as participation from the Greenbelt Cinema, the Greenbelt Museum, and the Labor Day Festival Committee is the beneficiary of the food trucks that we've been able to add. We added a new highlight this year in special events, which was Amanda and Barbara and the rest of the Arts Advisory Board worked with one of our instructors, Emily Little, to provide the welcoming chalk art signage at both of the major entrances to Buddyatic Park for the 4th of July. So that was very well received by community members, even while we were out there creating it. Just the warmth of the responses was really touching. Great to have that opportunity. And I'll be happy to take any questions.
Let's see. I just want to thank you for all of the incredibly creative work that you do year-round. Just a quick plug that Julia Gould exhibition in the fall is just really amazing. Just feels very immersive. The color palette's just amazing.
Thank you.
One thing with the mosaic sculpture, I think there's another workshop coming up.
Yes, on the 28th, and we do still have space in that, so feel free to join.
I was going to suggest if you have a couple of flyers, if you could post them around the tennis area, because a lot of the tennis players are down there every day, every couple of days, and they would probably like to participate.
Great, thank you.
So if you do that. Mayor Protem?
Yeah, I was just thinking, because I remember this was probably 6 or 7 years ago, you did some engagement around possibly public art in the Greenbelt Station Central Park. I remember having some engagement meetings.
Right.
I mean, it seems like I think part of that was sort of the pandemic, like stopped all progress on that because I feel like it was maybe 2019 or so and into there. Is there any thought of reviving that and looking at some options?
Sure, absolutely. Where that took a turn was with the work done with the Neighborhood Design Center, where they did some additional visioning work with the community, and things were prioritized in a certain order, and there were some needs identified for some basic amenities, shade features, et cetera. So the attention was placed on them as a first go, for the city in terms of identifying opportunities for improvement. So we, as a department, have been responsive, to the community's sense of priorities. So that's great, and I hope those continue to be addressed. And we're absolutely happy to have public art be part of that. In fact, there is a set aside in the funds that we got from the developer to do that. So we are looking forward to doing a project there as it works its way up to the top of the list for the community.
Sounds good.
Questions? Well, thank you for that exhaustive overview of all the incredible performance arts creativity that we have going in the city of Greenbelt. It's just amazing.
Great. Thank you, Nicole and Amanda. If we could go to the next slide, and if Priya could come join me and share some highlights about our therapeutic recreation component. Priya, you're so far away.
Hey, Priya,
It's
welcome.
okay.
Nice to have you
So
back.
therapeutic recreation has two primary focuses, our active aging, 60 and over programming, and our inclusion program. So Priya, please, thank you.
Hello, good evening. Excuse me. Thank you for having us here. Um, Good evening, council. Good evening, team. It's kind of really exciting and emotional to see everybody together because we do work hard. And yeah, so I just wanted to share how excited I am with all the new events that we have coming up. I don't know if you're familiar with therapeutic recreation, but it does include a lot of senior programs and recognizing that aging is a spectrum, that there are seniors that do need more support rather than other seniors who are able to move a lot more independently. So we definitely try to accommodate that with all the programs that we can offer and fit into our building. So the next slide, please. So biggest thing is new therapeutic recreation programs that we've brought in. I just wanted to say that I was post-pandemic, a lot of programs did go away, but now we're rebuilding it. And in addition to the great programs that did survive post-pandemic, we are building new ones. So a couple of new programs is our Senior Tech Cafe. It's an informal drop-in situation where seniors can come in and bring in whatever question that they have. A couple of questions that we've answered was how to use their front-facing phone when they're going for a doctor's appointment, how to send a text message with an emoji. My favorite one was creating a group chat for the girls' name in their group, which they called it the Greenbelt Golden Girls, which I loved. And we are collaborating with the IT department. As you can see, Clay comes in and we have a once a month session. And we have 2 senior volunteers who are former IT technicians that come in and support the program as well. We have our Senior Art Social, which we're working with the art department, with the art department. It gives seniors an opportunity to kind of sample all the amazing art classes without fully committing, and they get more one-on-one time. And if they like it, then they can go and register for a more formal class. Another one, a new program that we actually did bring back is our Movement Through Line Dance. We don't have a picture here, but it is our new line dancing program that I think my colleagues can attest that every Wednesday mornings we do sound like a club. So if you need something to just come in and try it out, I do invite you. We have our great instructor, Myra Morgan, who comes to us from PG Parks, and she's teaching the 6-week courses. And in November, we're going to have a fall dance event where all these seniors that have been practicing get to kind of show off to their friends and family. Another collaborative effort is with Brian Butler, who's here. We've opened an active aging basketball clinic, which is a very low impact basketball clinic where seniors can learn how to work with their hand-eye coordination and do some light, light exercises or light basketball. To your question, Mr. Mayor, about the accommodations that we're trying to find, one of the things that I can't physically do all the accommodations, but we do take a lot of feedback from the seniors. We used to have a chair exercise that unfortunately had to cancel immediately. So we've got Brian Butler again, who has gotten certified with Ageless Grace and LeBlast, which is like, I'm sure he'll speak more about later. But these are 2 chair exercises we're going to introduce not only to Greenbelt Community Center, but also Spring Hill Lake Rec Center, because we are working on bringing senior programming for that community. Yes, next slide, please. Yes, so I wanted to thank the council for the second bus. It has been such a treat and such an adventure to have 2 buses. I wanted to really call out to Public Works. Brian Kim and Ann and Greg don't know this, but I agreed, Brian Kim agreed to teach me how to drive the bus if I agreed to drive it whenever he needed it. So that's there. But Brian Kim really helped us learn to teach staff. Sorry, let me take a second. He really was on board in accommodating senior trips. And without fail, every session, we reach out to Katie Barnaby and I give her the dates, and then she lets me know who's available. And Raphael, who's pictured here, he's always riding the bus. Mike, the mechanic, who taught us how to ride the bus. Thank you. Again, Brian Butler, who's the second driver of the bus. It's changed the game of senior trips because we're able to go on like expensive trips, close by trips. We don't have to spend so much money on coach buses like the air buses, and we are able to accommodate our wait list because the wait list looks good, but it doesn't look good when they're not getting on the trips. So past trips include the Marietta House Museum, Butler's Orchard, Toby's. We've done the Bowie Bay Sox games, which is a big popular one because you get bingo and buffet. We've gotten a chance to visit museums in DC, Annapolis, and Baltimore. A couple of trips coming up in the future, we're going to the Arena Stage to see the Step Africa Magical Musical Holiday Step Show and the Ballet Theater of Maryland in Annapolis to see their version of the Nutcracker. Yeah, and next slide, please. And this is our food and friendship program. Pictured on here is Felicia, who is our senior nutrition program manager. She has brought such a wonderful warmth and welcoming atmosphere back into our program to the point that we are, I don't know, on a good day, we'll have like 30 people come in. And there are people that are also homebound that are PG County residents that the members of the Food and Friendship Program will take food home for them as long as we have their application for it. And I just want to clarify that this is a partnership with the Prince George's County Department of Family Services, and I believe that this program has been going on for quite a while. And Felicia has just brought like a warm familyness to that they all look out to each other. They even call themselves the Lunch Bunch, which is so fantastic. And they look out for each other. If somebody doesn't come for a couple of days, they have each other's numbers. We'll check in on each other, and it's gotten to the point where the children of the seniors that participate can call us and say, "Hey, my mom isn't going to be able to make it today," and then we'll be like, "Oh my goodness, okay, we'll get together, get a card, send it out." They like to celebrate their birthdays, so it's a wonderful community. Everybody's always welcome to grab a cup of coffee and just kind of meet everybody. I do recommend getting to know Felicia. Not only is she our senior nutrition manager, she's also our senior trip attendant and with Brian as well. So that's with the supporting staff, we're able to have more people go on trips.
Right. Quick question. Since the Food and Friends program is a partnership with the county and some of the funding may be coming from the state or the federal government, is that program, is there any chance that might be at risk?
Not that we've heard.
Yeah, at this time.
I check with Liz Park on that, Dr. Park a lot to see if she's heard anything, but she has not the last time I talked to her, but we are keeping an eye on that.
And next slide, please. And the last program that I oversee is the Inclusion Support Program. We provide inclusion support for camp and I'm just going to say, like, this year we've had such great staff who it's in their nature to want to support these campers and participants, and recognizing that not everybody can follow directions in a certain way. And so it really does help that we have staff that are interested in providing, and they themselves recognize that they could have benefited from inclusion support. A couple of bragging points that I want to say is that we are revamping the training method of it. We've worked with CARES. They've come in and provided behavior management techniques. We've worked with Greenbelt Police Department in the crisis intervention of, what's the word am I looking? sorry, what's the word?
The de-escalation training
De-escalation
was
training.
through our colleagues in the police department. It was an excellent training.
I've reached out to the Autism Society of Maryland, and they've come out and educated our staff on how to interact. And we've extended our inclusion program to Spring Hill Lake, and we've had identified 2 people that really do believe in the program. One of them is Madison. She has really stepped up and is the first inclusion manager to support Spring Hill Lake this summer. So that was a big deal. She's so wonderful, and not pictured Louise as well, who would come in and support as needed training. And in addition to the summer, we have staff that we have dedicated staff that can provide inclusion support year round, and it has been so great. We've been able to support Parents Night Out, various different art programs, and anywhere that they need support.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You're doing incredible work. Thank you.
Thank you, Priya.
Okay, we'll move on to the museum. Megan?
Hello, Megan.
Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity here to talk about everything we do. I'll go fast. I know it's getting late. As you can see, I just put a little bit of information about the museum there, including all the things that we do throughout the year, as well as a photo of the actual historic house and 10A next to it. So next slide, please. I just want to talk a little bit about the educational programs that we do. This year we did participate in Creative Kids Camp. So my colleague Sheila, our education and volunteer coordinator, hosted, I think it was about 400 visits from kids. Sometimes it was the same kids coming back, but we did some fun programming with them. We did a mural activity based on WPA murals. We also looked at Victory Gardens. They watched a film about Victory Gardens from the period, a short film, and then they went out and we talked about the demonstration garden we had. We did a laundry activity where they wash on washboards. That's always really a lot of fun for them. And then we had the next session, we had some period games from the 1930s that they played. We also this year, Sheila was invited and able to collaborate with the Recreation Arts Program to do a mural activity at Spring Hill Lake as one of the after-school programs. In terms of other outreach, I have in the past several months spoken to the Rotary Club, Greenbelt Grows, and then also the Prince George's County Historical Society, just as part of our outreach efforts. We also have had our annual lecture series, our quarterly lecture series. We can go to the next slide, please. Oh, sorry, Retrotown Fairs first. So we do several sort of larger scale events throughout the year. One of those is at Labor Day with the Retrotown Fair. It has been so fantastic to be a part of the Recreation Department, which allows us to request help from the park rangers. So we are incredibly grateful. They come and help us put up, I think it's 3 or 4 tents and, I don't know, 10 tables and chairs. And we have to do that in the morning and then take it down in the evening. And it's been hugely helpful to have the help of other rec department employees, particularly the park rangers. So next slide, I think, is the lecture series. So this year we did do a collaboration with the Recreation Arts Program to feature the photographer who did photographs and then did a lecture. There was an exhibit in the halls in the community center that was very well received. We also had an author come and speak about Lenore Thomas Strauss. She has a book coming out about WPA women artists specifically. I think it's going to get a lot of attention, so we were lucky to have her before the book comes out. She's also offered to come back and speak about the other people who were in that book. In January, we're going to have host a talk from Alan Verda, who's a historian who's done a lot of work in Greenbelt. He doesn't live here any longer, but we're reaching out to him to have him speak about some of the families who were living on the land before Greenbelt was built. An important part of Greenbelt's story that needs to be more widely known. And then in February, we'll co-sponsor Black History Month activities with the Greenbelt Black History and Culture Committee. We also, are doing our walking tours and have house tours on every Sunday. Next, I think, is 10A. But just before I talk about that, I just wanted to list some of the other things that we've been up to at the museum. I'm involved in the cemetery preservation master plan. That was a meeting about that on Monday night, where the consultants shared their information and some of their suggestions. I'm the staff liaison to the Reparations Commission, which is ongoing work. And then I've also been attending meetings of the ATHA-sponsored 250th sesquicentennial celebration that's in collaboration with Maryland National Capital Park and Planning.
Are you thinking of any projects or any, I know they had some micro grants for just a little bit of funding.
They
but,
did, and I wasn't able to apply for those.
the
It's a
deadline
capac-
came up pretty
it's
fast.
a-
It's really small. amount of
Yeah,
money.
and it's a capacity issue because when you get those grants, some of them were to they were great opportunities, but they were to manage another person, and that can take time, as you know. So I did request that Greenbelt be featured in the passport as a site to visit. I'm not sure you had to apply for that, and I'm not sure if we were included there. But the kickoff event is in May. It's May 30th at the Bowie Performing Arts Center, and I'm hoping that the museum and/or other representatives of Greenbelt might want a table there. We do have the theme for the county is We the People. So of course we have the Lenore Thomas Strauss bas reliefs. So and we may try to do some other programming. It might make sense to do that around Greenbelt Day weekend in 2026, since that's just a little bit after the kickoff. So those are, stay tuned for more
I like
about
that
that.
Greenbelt Day weekend idea. It gives us some time. And
Yeah, it does
do
give us a
that
little
without
time
really-
to figure out what we want to do. And, it may be that we do a specific walking tour of one or more of the cemeteries, or, there's various things we can do, since we do have Revolutionary War soldiers buried, particularly at Walker Cemetery. So just stay tuned. We'll give more. So then on to 10A. These are, the top photo there is as it looks now. The same angle then is the bottom image, is a rendering given us by the architect about how it hopefully will look once the project is completed. We recently have learned that the Maryland Municipal Bond Initiative, that funding has been approved. It's a process that they initially alerted that we would probably get it, but there's several other hoops you have to go through to actually get the funding. So this is going to bring some really good momentum to the project. And I do have a breakdown of where we are. I know I've talked about this before, but some of the initial costs, when I went back to revisit all of the numbers, some of the initial costs have already been met by grant funding, if that makes sense. So for instance, the architect's fees, the drawings, and the subcontractors, and all of those were largely supported by a redevelopment grant from the county. So what's remaining is still about $500,000, and that primarily covers the demolition and then construction and renovation of the interior. So that leaves, with the Maryland Municipal Bond, $294,000 has been raised, and that includes grants from Maryland Maryland Historical Trust, as well as, I hope I haven't given the impression in the past that FOGM has not done any work on the capital campaign. We are still gearing up to do the public phase, but there was $17,000 raised through our community investment tax credit program, and through naming opportunities, another $27,000. So that was $44,000, as well as these are the. This is all stuff that was done under the FOGM umbrella, but there's a RAC card that I've handed out before. This is the larger sort of case statement for the project. So once that's all totaled, there's still about $206,000 left to raise. But we're excited about it, and I think we have some momentum. The Friends of the Greenbelt Museum Board has undergone some leadership challenges. Both co-presidents stepped down within the past 6 months. So we have a new president who's been serving on the board, as well as 2 new board members. So they're gearing up to hire a bookkeeper to help keep track of the capital campaign. And, I feel like we have some good momentum.
Sounds like you've made quite a bit of progress, and you're more than halfway. there.
Yes, yes,
So
we
it's
are.
fantastic.
We are.
Yeah,
And we do want to
congratulations.
have the big thermometer and the visuals, because that's when really people get excited, and when they can see that some work is being done. We still need to work out. I need to meet with Greg to work out what it will look like when the site is shut down for renovation. I don't know that we'll be able to keep the museum house running. We certainly won't be able to do it the way we are now, because we are welcoming visitors into the 10A space, even though it has not been renovated. So we may have to pivot and do some things offsite during that time, but hopefully it will, be reopened as the new Education and Visitor Center.
So I know it's impossible to really speculate, but what do you think? Maybe 2027, 2028?
We hope so. The next steps are project management,
Right,
and then
we
that
recently,
person.
we recently met on this. I think the next step is project management permitting, and hopefully you'll see some work with the big signboard out, fundraising signboard out
right.
front,
That's right.
hopefully within the next year. We're hoping.
And they'll be responsible for working with the county to get the county's necessary permits. We
Right.
have gone through the process with GHI, so that part is done. So it's just incremental, but there has been progress, so.
Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for all the work that you've been doing with the Reparations Commission. It seems like they're making great progress, and
They
you
are.
serving
They
as
really
a
have come a
liaison
long way.
has
Yeah.
helped to move that along.
It's an honor to serve in that capacity as well. And we'll keep you updated on that as well.
Questions? Yeah, Member Tim.
No, just a thought, because I wonder if if we have to close the other part of the museum, I wonder if there's a way to do a video tour or a virtual tour or
Yes.
something like that, so that at least people can see what it looks like, even like a VR, like I think you can do that where it's sort of you're exploring. That would be, and it'd be a neat thing to have anyway, but that way we have a way to show people what it would look like if they're not able to get in there.
Exactly, yeah. We had actually met with a VR company, a company that did that before the pandemic, and then I need to pick that thread back up again, because we really could benefit from that. It'd be a great way for people to still have access to the house. So.
Yeah, there's a few companies that sometimes for work present at the National Association for Interpretation, and there's always a few vendors there. I'll have to see if I can dig out and
Yeah,
get the
please do,
references, if
please
I can
do.
find the names.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I think there's a few different companies that do those virtual tours.
Yeah, we would love to offer that as an option for sure. Yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you so much. Any other questions from council? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Megan. Okay, we're coming to the end here, so we're going to put recreation centers and programs together. So I got Frank and Brian come up to the table, and unfortunately, AJ Cisse, who is our recreation coordinator at the youth center, could not be here tonight, but he plays a major role in programming at the youth center and in 3 summer camps as well. So got Frank and Brian here, work at Spring Hill Lake Recreation Center, and give you a brief update.
Frank and Brian, how you doing?
Yes, my name is Brian Butler. I'm a recreation coordinator too at Spring Hill Lake Recreation Center. This is year 25 with Frank, who is my backbone in that situation. First, I want to say to the city, why are you recording? I want to say to the city, without getting emotional, my family and I are really thankful that when we had our situation in 2016, that you held us all up. I also want to say to Greg and Andrew and Latoya, who is our all-star team, since I believe Greg has come into the position, we honestly can tell you, Frank and I, that as a team, our internal connection is amazing. and we work so close together on everything, and it's just a different energy. So I just wanted to put that out there. Year 25, lost a lot of hair, but I didn't lose a step. We lost a lot of hair.
Together, lost hair together. So just going over some of the programs that we're doing at Spring Hill Lake. So just to recap on summer, probably our most successful summer program thus far. Definitely due to the partnership with the Patuxent Wildlife Refuge. So there were weekly visits from the rangers, and they came over and they participated in things like craft making, bird watching. They also had NASA reps come in and let the kids fly drones, and they talked about how weather mapping is tied to it. We also did field trips to the actual refuge. So in the refuge, those site visits, we went and did things like fishing, hiking, kayaking, canoeing. So we were allowed to get our Spring Hill Lake kids over into an outdoor setting, which they normally wouldn't, participate in a lot of these activities. Another trip that we took, shout out to Priya, is to Greenbelt Library this summer. So even though most of our kids do live in Greenbelt, a lot of them have never been to Greenbelt Library. So it was important to come and show them the location of their library and also what services are offered to them. So I think that was an eye-opening experience for them. So hopefully, when they're with their parents, they can continue on and get their families into the library. Another couple of trips that we did this summer was we went to Watermine Family Swimming Park in Virginia, Urban Air, Trampoline Park in Laurel, Bland Air Community Playground in Columbia. So all these trips were just ways to get all of our kids different experiences and just outside their comfort zone and outside of places they may not ever get to visit or normally visit on a regular basis. Lunch is provided by Capital Area Food Bank, so that's a partnership that we've had since 2021. So they provide lunch and snack during the summertime programs, and then during the school year, they also provide lunch as well. So that's a partnership that we've held on to and that we continue actually to this day. We serve lunch in our after-school program actually today. Another new program that we have is a kids movement class. It's a pilot program that we've done. It's a Gymboree type of class, so it targets ages 1 through 5, and it helps them establish their motor skills. So that class is actually on Fridays from 11:30 in the morning until 12:15. Now that class is coming to an end, but it's a class that we hope to carry out through the fall and the winter months coming up. Some of the special events that we've hosted and activities that we have is we've done our first ever Fierce Footy Soccer Clinic, and that targets target our middle school population. So much like with basketball at Spring Hill Lake, we're hoping to create a series out of it. And so we see that, with the population that we have in Franklin Park and Spring Hill Lake, there's a lot more interest now in soccer. It's actually somewhat maybe overtaking basketball at this point. So we need to find a way to put as much effort and programming into soccer as we have basketball in the past. Other events that we've done the community basketball game with the police department, the Cops First Kids. So for the second year in a row, the police have beat our kids. So hopefully next year, Brian and I will do maybe a training camp the week before. So we gotta do something. We gotta do something. That's 2 losses in a row. Yeah. So also
Say they defeated our kids.
Yeah.
We're gonna drop donuts off at the police station every day for a week.
Yeah, we got to do something. So just collaborating with some of our colleagues here. I know Amanda has been great about getting the arts over into Spring Hill Lake. So we've had artful afternoons at Spring Hill Lake. We also do offer now an art component 5 days a week at Spring Hill Lake. So Amanda has her staff in our after school program. And so they get about 2 hours of art if they would like to participate Monday through Friday. Some other things we've done with Hostway's office, we hosted the Cuts for Kids back to school event. Was it PG?
PG, yeah.
Yeah. The radio station. Why do I want to say PGC? That's a community college.
It's the same thing.
WPGC. There we go, brother.
95.5.
Also, I see Mr. Goldberg Strasberg over there. He's doing story time, right? We're still doing
Friday.
pre-K story time every second Friday. So I'll say, under the leadership of Greg and Andrew and Latoya, we're probably doing more programs at Spring Hill Lake in the past decade than we've done previously. So we're just looking forward to establishing new programs and just improving on the old ones.
Now, for myself, what another thing Frank and I recognized over the time is, and I think we all know it, West is a little different as far as the community itself is concerned. Now, it doesn't happen at the recreation center, I believe, because Frank and I are doing, and our staff, entire staff is doing, we're doing what we're supposed to do. But what we come to realize is there is a disconnection between I don't even want to say the child and the parent, but there's no connection with the grandparents anymore. And it's changing now. It's coming back. And what we realized in doing the after school program, we no longer see the parents. I'm not saying they're not good parents. We dubbed ourselves Charlie Brownville in the past because we didn't have a lot of parental involvement. But since the pandemic and we started the after school program, it was more parental involvement. But now we're starting to see the grandparents come back in and they're dealing with the children and they're getting better results with the children, at least that we're dealing with, than some of the parents, which is what led me to dealing with Priya and the senior community. Now, during the pandemic, I had delivered food to the senior community for 2 years, so I had already begun to develop a relationship. And in that relationship, I learned, there's a lot I needed to learn, and this is what's the disconnect between the generations. So the ultimate goal is to bring or reach out and expand the senior community over into West Greenbelt, because there's grandparents there too. So the lessons that we are providing on the side of things we can in the recreation department are being reiterated when they go home. Because no matter what Frank and myself have done in the past, and we've tried everything, even, and I probably shouldn't say this, even bringing some into our home, don't get mad, sweetheart, I had to bring that up. Well, also a lesson learned over the years, but when you're a part of a community and you're trying to rebuild and you're out there like our programs are, you're going to do what it takes to make it. So in expanding with the senior community, I feel like that's going to fill the void that's missing as far as parenting once these children go home. So like Priya was saying recently, I've just got my certification in Ageless Grace, which is more so active aging, fitness in a chair, but it's more body brain building. It's more the science of neuroplasticity and just constant movement. And then 3 weeks ago, I was certified in LA Blast, which is like chair Zumba, if you would. But we've learned 10 ballroom dances that you learn in a chair, and you learn more so patterns than choreography. So the patterns are taught over the music. And I just feel like my ultimate goal, I'm not going to jinx myself, but my ultimate goal, I've been telling Priya this for about 2 years now, is to have a line dancing situation where the youth teach the seniors 2 line dances and the seniors teach the youth 2 line dances, and we're bridging the gap. And I figure in order to sneak in there how to teach the youth to dress appropriately, we'll have a sneaker ball where you have to wear a suit, but you have to wear your sneakers. So we're trying our best on this side, and we're blessed to have the staff that we have, our upline, that allows us to address these problems in real time. So I can't say anything other than that. I can answer any questions, but we're really thankful. And the West Side is the West Side. You already know. I'll address the elephant, you know.
Want to thank you so much for all you do, and particularly, getting that certification in the Ageless Grace program. That's something that was a strength that we had going in the center for a number of years, and so to have another staff member who's certified to deliver that program is powerful. It's really helpful. Also, I understand this basketball mobility over 60 sounds like an interesting thing to undertake. I understand that's
tomorrow morning.
Maybe we need to have that team playing against the police department and see the kids.
It's really cool though because of the stories, and like I said, Frank and I, the whole entire community come to Frank and I for guidance. And that I'm just being honest, but we don't always have someone to go to. So when I'm amongst the seniors and I'm learning, I'm loving this. So when we're just doing hand-and-eye coordination drills and talking and conversing, I'm learning a lot out there. They seem to think I probably should have been a football player. I'm looking like right about now, but it is fun. We do learn. Also want to shout out, Pri and I didn't mention, we just finished a series this morning with Miss Geraldine Adams.
Oh, yeah.
We had an LBBC, Let's Beat Breast Cancer, plant-based cooking series that just ended today. It's been amazing. We're also, providing and hosting for that. And like Frank said, we're doing so much. I'm usually there early in the morning with the programming that we're trying to do and create. We're doing so much more now than we've done in the past. Not saying that we weren't trying, but learning lumps, I guess. We're improving as a staff, and we're just happy about it. That's all.
Yeah, very, very inspiring. It makes me want to shave my head and grow.
I was going to say, you need to
give
give it a team.
Miss Pope.
We'd much rather trade places with you.
I just want to say that we know each other for 25 years, right?
25
So
years, yes.
when I lived over at Franklin, I lived there when you
Yeah.
started to work for the city. I remember that well when we met.
Yeah.
When we first created the neighborhood improvement
The first
team,
neighborhood
right?
improvement, yes.
Yeah, neighborhood
Wow.
improvement team first.
With Miss Renee,
Spring,
that's
yeah,
right.
remember? Yeah, it was great. So and I work, of course, in Spring Hill Lake Elementary School now, and before at Greenbelt Middle School. So I've been
Right.
over there for 25 years. 25 years. And I'm trying my best. So when you get some of my children, because they're very excited to go to the rec center, I'm training them to be polite and nice. But I tell you what, as soon as I'm out of sight, I don't know, I don't know what they're doing. But
They act differently than they do at home. and
oh,
at
they
school
do,
and-
they do. But I tell you what, they're definitely excited to come to the rec center, and I always know that they're in good hands when
Yeah,
they
we
come
love
and see
having
you
them.
guys over there. So definitely, thank you very much for everything you do. And you always say, well, maybe we don't do enough, or maybe we should do more. But we have come a long way.
Yes.
If you think 25 years ago,
25
where
years.
we began, right,
Mhm.
from a little rec center with not much programming except basketball. I think that's all we
basketball,
had,
yeah.
right? To now, to now,
a
that
beautiful
it's
thing.
just, and when you've seen these improvements and this outreach, I mean, it's just incredible. It's really incredible. I mean, you all do a wonderful job. Everybody in this in the entire city. I think the city of Greenbelt is just one place in a million. I mean, there is not many places like us, and that you have teamwork like we have, and we've seen it, and so many people have mentioned that how lucky you are that how you feel about working here in the city, and how I feel living in the city, and I do want to thank all of you, but thank you. I mean, we've come a long way, and it's gonna get better, right?
Absolutely.
There's always
Absolutely.
room for improvement. It doesn't matter what you do. So, but just think what the future that lies ahead, what we can do, what we can accomplish. Thank you.
Councilmember Poppy.
I think Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I really love hearing about the sort of intergenerational community building that you're doing over there. That's
Yes.
incredible. I absolutely love that. And thanks to you and Priya as well. I think these senior classes you're doing are just so important. It's so important that seniors have connection. It's so important that they are moving their bodies and using their brains. And like, I'm so glad to see more of that programming come to Spring Hill Lake. So thank you for that. And also, I love going over there and seeing the kids and the families, and it's such a warm environment, and it's so clear that it is a safe space for them. Like they feel so comfortable there, like it's their living room, and I'm really grateful that you guys provide that kind of environment. So thank you for that. And yeah, just keep up the great work. It makes me really proud. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Mr. Roberts.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I've been quiet tonight, but I've been taking all this in. And I want you all to know that, of course, I grew up here, and it was a long time ago, way before, my colleague over there came here, way more than 25 years. And I do miss the diving boards, but maybe one day we can get them back. But I want to let you know that, when I grew up here, the recreation department was a very important part of my life, really. And not only my life, but a lot of my friends as well. But to sit here tonight and watch and listen and realize how much it has expanded and how much it's grown really makes me feel good because this is what Greenbelt's about. That's what it was about in the beginning, was giving kids, many, many, many constructive things to do and fun things to do. And we're going in the right direction. So I just want you all to know I really appreciate it, and keep on going. And I want to see a lot better things in Spring Hill Lake. I've been fighting that battle a long time. I'm going to keep on fighting until we get some more parity in what we can see over there and what we can see over here. But it feels good. It felt really good tonight to realize how much better it is now than when I came up. So have a good night.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Yeah, well, I agree. I love to hear about the intergenerational things. My favorite thing is when I can make it over on Fridays to the kids listening to the story hours, those little kids, and they're lovely. But actually, I wondered, can we go 2 slides on? Because I think Mr. Orleans had mentioned earlier about the facility updates, and I wanted to point out that it actually was mentioned in the packet here, some of the things that had happened. I know there's more things we want to do, but I think what you redid some painting, redid the gym floor, but I just wanted to point that out.
Spring Hill Lake Rec Center has probably received more upgrades than any other of our facilities over the last few years.
Brand new court outside as well.
Brand new basketball
Yeah.
court, brand new playground.
Playground is great.
Tile replaced, painting, new front desk, new office furniture, new building furniture. So we've done a lot over there.
It looks great in there.
Yeah,
It looks
really
great
does.
in there.
And these guys, their hard work, it takes a beating. The center
Yeah.
takes a beating. Kids are in there running around all day. These guys keep that center looking really great.
It does look great. And that last slide that we stopped on, that was the big one that didn't get away. Was that up at Patuxent, the fish?
Oh, the fish. Yeah, and that
largemouth bass.
And that was Luis. He's one of our part-time staff, though. Really does a lot for our department. Plays a vital role for us. Yeah.
Was that Buddy Attic Lake, or was it?
No.
Oh.
The
Yeah,
refuge.
it's a wildlife
Yeah.
refuge, yeah.
It's a big fish.
Can I share this last thing? What you're saying about Luis? So we have these, this is an example of success story. Frank and I were pretty upset with my wife for a little while, but she is, for those who don't know, my wife is the lead assistant principal at Greenbelt Middle School.
Yes.
And some of our former collegiate athletes that were overseas have come back. 2 of them are, one is a English teacher, one is a digital arts teacher, one is a music teacher, 2 teacher assistants, including Luis, and one who's the head of security or very close to it, and the head basketball coach at the middle school. These are all young men and women who've grown up at Spring Hill Lake Recreation Center and have given back and are now adulting. And it's just a great success story for us to see. So I just had to shout that out with Greg saying that, because it is an inside internal community, and it's happening on both sides now. So we will see what you were saying, sir. I guarantee you, because it's already happening internally. So the body has to follow the brain. So we're on our way.
Thanks. And you've already said it, Mayor, but I want to thank Robert for the class he does over there monthly. And because of him and the success we've seen with that class in the morning, we have started opening that center at 10 a.m. on weekdays and started programming it in the morning there. So we're building that program, and we're really excited about that. And previously, the building didn't open to the public until 2 p.m. So yeah.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm really going to shave my head.
I'll trade with you tonight. I'll trade my beer for your hair.
Okay, let's keep rolling.
Yeah, we're gonna move on to special event and park rangers, and I'd like to call up our Swiss Army knife, Patrick Mullen.
Check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, force of habit. Good evening, council, and good evening to all of my colleagues. Thank you for sticking around. It's already getting late, and we've already heard a lot of information, so I will do my very, very best to be as concise as possible. You can see here on this first slide, I'm just going to read part of this. Starting with special events. Our special events connect our community, providing opportunities for residents to celebrate collectively, sharing experiences that bolster our commitment to the community pledge. And as a reminder of that pledge, I'm just going to read that first part. The strength of Greenbelt is diverse people living together in a spirit of cooperation. We celebrate all people. By sharing together, all are enriched. And that is what our special events do. There's a lot of moving parts to the special events. I have partnered with each and every person in this room for a special event that has happened in this city. Whether it is with Brian and his fantastic crew for July 4th, or it is with our outstanding citizen who is currently sitting in, Robert, for some of our community events, or Caroline, who I cannot do what I do without all of her support. As an admin, as a colleague, and as a friend, she's a fantastic person, and I want to take a moment to give her her flowers. The first step in any special event is somebody reaches out, whether it's one of our recognition groups or it is one of our coordinators that has an event. And we schedule a meeting, we sit down, myself, Caroline, and that person or that organization, and it usually starts with the question, what is your vision? Because we want to know the vision, we want to know the goal, right? So that even when there may be a question as to what can be provided or what can be accomplished, we know what the end result is desired to be, and we work towards that. With every event that we do, we get better, we get more efficient. With that being said, our number of events are expanding, both in number and in complexity. This same time period last year, July 1st to October 22nd, we had 15 special events that our department supported. This year we have 20. Okay. Some of that is because of the increased number of recognition groups in the city. Kathy mentioned that we have 60 at present, and there are more groups applying, every month for that. And with that comes in-kind services. When those recognition groups see someone have a fantastic community event, they say, why not us? And that's exactly what we want, right? This is that spirit of cooperation. That is that diverse peoples working together. We want people to be able to say, why not us, and come to us and live that vision. In pursuit of that goal, as part of this budget, money was allocated to expand the special events crew. One of the things that I was tasked with was expanding that crew. Many of our park rangers double as special events staff, but in addition to that, we have a need for specialized technicians, people with specialized skills. In this particular case, we're talking about people who have experience with audio, people who have experience with lighting, and people who have experience with stage and event management. It's a very particular skill set. And because we service so many groups and because every event is unique, we need to make sure that we have the best possible people for that job. We have already hired one audio technician. I'm currently in talks with a lighting designer to come and join us so that we have them for the Winter Dance Concert, which is coming up. In addition, we have brought on board 2 of our staff from the Greenbelt Aquatic and Fitness Center, who are both pool managers and lifeguards, because while all of our park rangers are adult and pediatric first aid, CPR, and AED certified, they're all recently Narcan certified. Many of them have completed mental health first aid training, and they've all completed the crowd manager training. Having staff that are specifically tasked with watching crowds of people, identifying problems, and being able to respond before they evolve into emergencies is critical when we have reduced emergency response capacity because of what's happening with our fire department. I really want to drive home the point that this is a thing that in recreation and with all of our partnerships with all of our departments, the Greenbelt Police Department, Public Works, we take this very seriously. We take our role as stewards and as stewards of the public and public resources very seriously. So while we may not be full emergency medical technicians with ambulances and all of that, what we can do is be prepared to respond and prevent things from escalating to that. So that is what we are doing. Trying to think of that. Yes. So the next portion of this, we have our Greenbelt Park Rangers. It says the Greenbelt Park Rangers monitor and manage our parks, serving as front-facing ambassadors to patrons, communicating park rules, serving permits, providing first aid. And park rangers are on the front line of public safety, observing and reporting information to our emergency responders. At present, we have 7 incredible park rangers that serve. They are non-classified staff, but they are incredible staff. One of the things I'm most proud of is our record of long retention rates for our park rangers. To give you an example, up in that top photo in the top left is Elizabeth Thomas. She has been with the city since 2017. She has a master's degree in earth science. She is a trained archaeologist. And she served with me through the COVID pandemic. When everyone else was cowering, excuse me, I'm getting emotional because I care very much about my team and the people I worked with during that time period. She, along with Byron Snowden, who was one of the young men that Brian was mentioning. He is the head of security at the middle school. He is their head basketball coach. And last year, you all recognized him for his excellence as an educator as part of that process. And Danielle Staggers. Danielle Staggers has 2 master's degrees and is currently working on her doctorate. These are exceptional people. They come from diverse backgrounds with diverse skills, and they represent Greenbelt and the greatness that is here. We retain them, and then new staff that come on often go on to find other roles within the city. Fine example is Bella Scribner, who started as a park ranger and is now currently one of our animal control officers. Another example is Bryce Rusk, who started as one of my park rangers and is now currently in the public information office. Claire, who is in the upper right-hand corner of that photo, right next to Priya's mom, as a matter of fact, started with Public Works, transferred over to the Greenbelt Aquatic and Fitness Center, and finally found a home with us here in the Park Rangers. She has done work for therapeutic recreation with Priya. If I had to sum up the Park Rangers in one sentence, it is we are here to help. As I mentioned, they all have been extensively trained, first aid, CPR, AED, the crowd manager training, the mental health first aid, and we are always looking for more opportunities for them to expand on and build on their skills. Everything that they learn, they put into practice in the field. We have partnered with every department in this city, especially with Public Works, with the Greenbelt Police Department, with our own arts department, and with therapeutic recreation, and in all of our facilities. Through those partnerships, we've been able to develop new interpretive programming. Probably the most well publicized and acknowledged at this point is our recent foray into kayaking. We were able last year to pilot a program where we brought kayaking to to Greenbelt Lake at Buddy Attic Park. We then purchased 10 kayaks, and with those 10 kayaks and others that have been brought out by our community members, we've been able to do in just from July 1st to October 22nd, 5 different kayaking events. 3 of them are recreational kayaking events, which is just an opportunity for people to get out on the water. I want to make a point of saying that something I'm very proud of is many of the people who came out to those kayaking events had never been on the water before. They had never had the opportunity because it requires certain things. It requires access to a body of water. It requires, you know, the watercraft itself, the paddles, the PFDs, the ability to get there. By providing these events for free, we have increased access to members of our community to experience our green spaces and to experience the outdoors in a way that they never would have been able to before. 2 of our kayaking events have been part of volunteer events. National Public Lands Day is the most recent one. Before that, we have had, in partnership with Kevin Carpenter Driscoll with Public Works, a number of volunteer opportunities. This one was for a trappa an invasive trappa that managed to wash down from the waterways and bark. It had begun to take over our lake when the trappa bloom took over. I am proud to say that over the past couple of years, with a concerted, consistent effort, we have reduced that so that before, when we had to do multiple of these, 4, 5, 6, just to keep it in check, this year we were able to do 1 and it was gone and has not returned. This is the benefit of, thank you. This is the benefit of commitment to these kinds of programs, to networking and interfacing with our communities and with engaging them in these kind of volunteer opportunities. It allows us to protect, preserve, and conserve our green spaces and provide these opportunities for our kids. In addition to that, we have a number of other interpretive programming that have occurred. That was a really awkward way to say that. We've had 9 other programs that are a result of partnering with Kevin Carpenter Driscoll with Public Works, as well as with Priya Gardner in Therapeutic Recreation. They include everything from our birding and herpetology 101 events to our Artful Afternoon that we partnered with Amanda at Buddy Attic Park when we did nature photography, to when we were able to do Ranger Day with Creative Kids Camp so that the kids who had to perform about going on a trip to Central Park had a park experience that they could draw from their for their performance, or for when we did a Ranger Day for Kinder Camp. If you look in the bottom left-hand corner there, that is myself surrounded by probably 15 or 16 kids from Kinder Camp getting to experience up close and personal one of our turtles native to, well, technically they're invasive because I think that was a red-eared slider, but that lives in Greenbelt Lake. But it was a thing they got to experience. They got to observe its behavior. They got to touch it and connect to our green spaces in a way that otherwise they wouldn't be able to. People in parks is transformative, and it's a thing that we want to continue to do and continue to invest in. We can do that, he turns the page with fervor, because our rental revenue for our parks is up. We mentioned that we've begun renting at Buddy Attic Park again. That was suspended during COVID because we wanted to dissuade the congregation of large groups. And then after COVID, we said, you know what? We want to do this, but we want to do it in a way that is better, more efficient, and better serves our community, which is where the master plan came in and the building of those 2 pavilions. As Andrew mentioned, we've already earned over $1,000 in revenue in just October alone. I think that I don't want to say the sky's the limit, because ultimately we have 2 pavilions and the weather being what it is. But I think we can look at solid revenue generation in the spring and summer for the end of this fiscal year. In addition, Schramm Hills Park, the community center over there, to give you an example, in FY24, we made a grand total of $600 on that facility. The majority of the use there was from recognition groups, and we had a little bit of rentals there. Just last fiscal year, we made $990. So it is trending upward. And as of this date, from July 1 to October 22nd, we have already made $600 on renting that community room over there, which means we've already matched FY24, and I am confident we are going to meet and exceed what we earned last fiscal year. So investments in parks yields outcomes for our communities, and it yields outcomes for our revenue generation. It just makes sense. I thank you for your time, and I'm happy to take any questions.
What a powerful presentation. It's powerful. Hey, let me ask you a question. I think council invested in bicycles for the Rangers, I guess about 3 or 4 years ago. It's been a while. How are those working out? Well, I think we talked about doing it for the Rangers, and I know you've got one or two that you use occasionally, do you not?
So the bicycles that we currently have were the decommissioned bicycles from GPD when they purchased their new bikes. So one of the things we have been looking into is what it would take to really service them and bring them into consistent use. You may have seen some of them around, particularly in
I
the
have.
Tour de Greenbelt. During Labor Day, we'll often ride them around Buddy Attic Park. It is one of our long-term goals that we can have rangers on foot, rangers on bicycles, and rangers in our SUV. That gives us a certain operational agility because there's things you miss when you're moving too fast on a bike or an SUV. You certainly can't talk to the community in the way that we like to and want to. But at the same time, sometimes you have to respond quickly to things. You see something happening on the other side of the lake. That lake path is 1.25 miles around, and I'm pretty quick on my feet, but seconds and minutes matter when you're potentially responding to a medical emergency. I also like to point out that when we're talking about sort of the observe and report and being able to respond to things, we have increased ranger patrols in response to certain events, such as last year, there were the events that happened at Strom Hills Park. We don't need to relive them in detail, but we've increased our ranger patrols there with the visibility of the SUV and things like the bikes. And we have been able to notify GPD when events are developing. GPD has come out and we've been able to peacefully disperse those events before they evolve into something bigger and greater.
Yeah, I was asking because it's a lot of ground to cover, and when you talk about Strom Hills, the dog park, and just throughout the city, you've only got one SUV.
Yes, sir.
So,
Which is a decommissioned police car.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We'd love to get a couple e-bikes. That would be great.
that's kind of what I was driving at indirectly. Well, great report. I know there are some other questions from council. Mr. Summerall.
I just want to add something. Patrick's also trained in the trailer cameras. Patrick, you've got access to the trailer cameras for special events, right?
Yes, sir.
So, and the importance of that is we can't get everywhere. Patrick's obviously the what did you call him, Greg? The Swiss Army knife. Among those skills is being able to use the trailer cameras to also monitor activity. So this goes to the public safety aspect you're bringing.
Right. Councilmember McKinney.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank you for all the things you do. I mean, you are everywhere all the time and do such fantastic work. As the rest of the team, I just want to say thank you to all of you as well. And I just wanted to point out that every time I talk to anybody on this team, it's not just the passion that we're hearing, it's also the knowledge. So a few of us did some of the kayaking and the events, and you all like know your stuff, like at a detailed level. I was like, huh, very cool. So I appreciate that you all bring passion, knowledge, and just commitment. And just thank you for just being everywhere all the time.
Proud to serve.
Yeah, my name's Matt Sickle. I'm the newly elected chair of PRAB, which is nice to say. I inherited the role before, so now I'm legit. I'm also a Greenbelt parent. I've got kids that participate in community center events, recreational activities, both those run by the city and recognition groups. Very happy summer campers as well. The PRAB holds monthly meetings with Greg and Kathy and Mayor Pro Tem Weaver, where we receive updates, discuss issues relevant to the parks and recreation concerns of the city. Our communication with Greg and his team has always been really good. When we have questions and concerns, those items show up on the agenda. Greg brings the information, and we're able to weigh in and opine to City Council so that you can do with our advice as you see fit. But I just want to say on behalf of PRAB that we're all really proud to participate in the public recreation and amenities that the city has. And on behalf of PRAB, thanks to everybody here for the beautiful work that you're doing in our city.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So, what a comprehensive update, deep dive into all aspects of the recreation. I feel like there's more that we need to hear about tonight.
We could go another couple hours if you really wanted us to, but I want to thank my colleagues. We've had meetings like this before, internal meetings, and I don't know why, but it always amazes me how much these guys do and how their passion for their jobs. Just hearing them speak tonight and everything that's going on. I hope council's proud of what's going on here. And I get the sense that the community is really engaged with us too. And I want to thank our colleagues in other departments. We work with Public Works and the Police Department and CARES and Josue and his admin team as well. It really it spans the spectrum.
Yeah, it certainly does. Just amazing work with the whole team. And, so many special things about Greenbelt, but our recreation department programs are shining stars in what we have to offer to our residents. And not just our residents, to folks from the surrounding areas as well. I've said it many times, Greenbelt is not an island. So the services that we provide, it's like a beacon drawing people here to the community. And, I often hear from parents and others outside of the community, and they've had their kids enrolled in the summer camps, and then they decide to move here because they loved it.
It's true. Yeah,
Right?
I've talked to residents of University Park, and they consider this their recreation department. Yeah. And we've had requests from people in other cities to get resident rates to come here. Haven't done that, obviously, but there's a request that comes in. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is just fantastic. I know there's probably a few questions online right now. No? So that's going to pretty much wrap things up. I know Ms. Pope and I are going to see you at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning on the stair climbing machine. Right? So I'd really like to move on to the special meeting that I need to call to order. Information. I'm so sorry. Information items, please.
Thank you so much, team. Thank you. Thank you all for coming. Thank you.
Jenny, would you like to go ahead?
Yes, I will start. We were originally going to do a council in the community event in October, where we just had basically like sort of a meet and greet with council, but there was just too many other things going on that we needed to have on the calendar. So Josue and I had talked about moving that to maybe sorry, I'm not looking, let me pull up my calendar really quick so that I know what I'm talking about. About moving that to the 12th, which would be right after the new council is sworn in, and it seems like that could be a good opportunity for a meet and greet because we have a new council. We'll have a new council on board. I don't think we have anything else scheduled for that day yet.
We do have something scheduled on the 12th, though, don't we?
I think we do. Let me pull up my calendar. Oh, we do. So we had initially scheduled it as the goal setting session, and on Monday during agenda planning, we added 2 additional things to that November 12th. We added the council's administrative work session. We had discussed several months ago about doing a quarterly administrative work session with council so that we can coordinate the schedules and just do some future planning. So we had added that and legislative priorities and a special meeting.
Yeah, with the administrative session. Excuse me, I'm sorry. That discussion would include, a quick review of the council rules. Usually at the very beginning of our council session, we review the council rules for any changes that we want to implement. Did I say we? The rest of the council, I may not be here, but regardless, it's something important to do as we initially talk about the new council. So let's see if we can find another date for that.
Yeah, so can we work through that right now since we're talking about it? I'm gonna pull up the meetings list.
You want to pull that up on my calendar? Okay, yep. I'm pulling up my screen. Share.
I think the challenge is because we're getting into both, so we have a regular meeting on the 17th.
There's the calendar up there.
Yeah. And then we're getting into, we've got NLC and then Thanksgiving week.
How about December?
December's open.
So the 1st or the 3rd, maybe?
You want to take over? Okay.
Yeah, that works. The first, I'm gonna do the first.
Okay, December 1st. Great.
Sounds good.
Summer?
I will be my information updates. I'll be out of the office and out of the city starting the 25th, which is Saturday, and I'll return on the afternoon, evening of the 29th. I'll be out at the ICMA conference. Mr. Tim George would also be joining me. So I am appointing Dr. Liz Park as the acting city manager during my time away.
Okay, in case of an extreme emergency, I guess we can.
There will be no extreme emergencies.
Maybe an art theft or power outage.
Right.
Okay. But yes, Liz Park will be available. Mr. Brian Kim is out through the 5th. Mr. Townsend is in an acting role until then.
Okay.
But yeah, everybody else is available. The second item, I need to hear back from the 3 members of council that are attending the NLC conference. We're getting a little nervous about hotels. So we're looking at the cheapest hotel that we can get you, unless you tell us which hotel you would like.
Oh,
I
thanks
already
for the
booked
reminder.
mine.
Oh, you already did? Okay.
I already booked mine.
I thought, yeah. That was. Do you know if the conference headquarters hotel is that booked up? That would be good. Yeah, I'll nail that down as cheaply as possible. Where did you? Did you book at the
It was.
conference?
We're in a public meeting, so maybe
Yeah,
we
I
can
can.
talk
I
offline.
can tell you later. I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay. Just asking. Well, I hereby call the special meeting of the Greenbelt City Council to order.
Mr. Mayor.
Is it council's will that we pause? You know, this is very late, and I would really like to. So I did just call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll?
Ms. Niesel? Ms. McKinney?
Here.
Ms. Pompey? Here. Ms. Pope?
Here.
Mr. Roberts? Ms. Weaver?
Here.
Mayor Jordan?
I'm here. Okay, so the purpose of this meeting is to go into executive session. Is there any discussion?
Okay, I move that council go into closed session in accordance with section 3-305B1 and 8 of the general provisions article of the annotated code of the Public Journals of Maryland. 1, to discuss the appointment, employment, assignment, promotion, discipline, demotion, compensation, removal, resignation, or performance evaluation of appointees, employees, or officials over whom it has jurisdiction, or any other personnel matter that affects one or more specific individuals. And 2, to consult with staff, consultants, or other individuals about pending or potential litigation. The purpose of this meeting is to discuss personnel matters and to consult with staff about pending or potential litigation. In addition to council, City Manager Salmeron will be in the meeting. Note that council will not return to open session following this closed session.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Ms. Neesel,
Here, yes.
Ms. McKinney,
Yes.
Ms. Pompey,
Yes.
Ms. Pope, Mr. Roberts,
No.
Ms. Weaver,
Yes.
Mayor Jordan.
Yes,
Motion passed.
thank you. I need to use the